This is Golden Eagle Baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike three. Line drive down into left field, base hit, and the ball game is tied.
From Tulsa to Omaha, catch every moment of every game right here on the ORU Sports Network. Powered by Playfly.
Tanaka hits one out into right center field. That one's well hit. Goodbye!
Here's the voice of the Golden Eagles, Connor Clark.
Live from Seabird Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota, it is Game 1 of the Summit League Baseball Tournament as the top-seeded Golden Eagles of Oral Roberts take on the 4th seed, the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. Welcome into the ORU Sports Network. My name's Connor Clark. This is the Empire Fence pregame show. So glad you could have us along with you on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon for baseball here in the northern part of the Midwest. It's sunny skies, temperatures in the mid-60s, and the wind is blowing out. So all things that baseball fans enjoy. And, well, another journey starts to try and make it back to the NCAA tournament for the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles, as well as they have won now 22 Summit League regular season titles. They're going for their 23rd Summit League tournament title here in the year 2026. And, well, they take on a Jackrabbit team that finished the year 21-30, 12-15 in the conference. ORU finished at 32-22, 22-6 in the Summit League. ORU leads the all-time series 90-23. It's been one that has been dominated by ORU in recent memory. They went 6-0 against the Jackrabbits this season. They are 15-0 in the last 15 meetings against the Jackrabbits. Last time ORU lost to South Dakota State, you got to go all the way back to St. Patrick's Day of 2024, and the cherry on top, ORU is 19-0 all-time in the postseason against South Dakota State as well. So a lot of favorable numbers there for Oral Roberts. Coming into today's matchup, though, both of these teams 1-1 in neutral site games today, of course, adding on to that total as well. This South Dakota State team averages just over 7 runs a game at 7.1. They give up 7.5, and they rank 5th in the Summit with an average of 276. National rankings for them, they're 166th in batting average, 265th in team ERA at 750, and 59th in fielding percentage at 977, which is second in the conference. ORU, they average 6.1 runs a game. They give up 5, and their team averages at 278, which jumped all the way back up to second. Nationally, they're ranked 148th in batting average, 60th in ERA as a team at 483, and 8th in fielding percentage at 982. And, well, they've got their horse on the bump here today. It's the right-hander Easton Teal, 3.11 ERA, which leads the conference. The sophomore with a 4-2 record this year. They will face off against the right-handed Sam Schlecht, 3-4 with a 6.12 ERA, the senior out of Maple Grove, Minnesota. So pitching not too far from where Schlecht grew up. But ORU, they were very successful up in Brookings. They have not seen the Jackrabbits in quite some time. You got to go back all the way from April 17th through the 19th. ORU swept that road series by final scores of 8-4, 18-2, and 10-2. They have run ruled the Jackrabbits twice this year. The series at home, they won 4-3 that Friday, 3-1 that Saturday, and 12-2 that Sunday. So it has been, again, a series dominated by Oral Roberts not only this year, but really the last 2.5 seasons as they try and make it back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2024. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up today. If ORU is able to win here today, they would play at 6 p.m. tomorrow. The loser of this game will play at noon tomorrow, as this is the first game in a regional-style conference tournament. So you have double elimination from here on out. So you got to lose twice in order for your season to come to a close. And, well, ORU is hoping to not even see the loss column here this weekend. But, of course, in the postseason, anything, and I mean anything, can happen here today. Big thanks to St. Thomas for hosting this event this weekend, and we are at the University of Minnesota's baseball field. So big thanks to the Gophers as well, as the ground crew is out working hard. They have an all-turf surface besides the mound and the batter circle. That is all dirt. So a little bit of an interesting combo. A little bit of a smaller yard here as well. 330 down the lines, very similar to Chapman Park. 365 in right center, 370 in left center, 390 to dead center. And, well, in between right center and center field, the fence jets in a little bit as well, making the ball yard even a little bit smaller. So that paired with the wind blowing out here this afternoon could create some chaos. But a team in ORU that has hit a ton of home runs as of late, 32 of them in their last 20 games. So hitting the ball out of the ballpark will obviously be a big part of ORU's offensive scheme. Keeping the ball in the ballpark on the defensive side will also be a big point of emphasis for this pitching staff that has been so good from start to finish in the regular season, and we hope to see more of that here in the postseason. So this is the Empire Fence pregame show, and coming up, we will hear from the head coach Ryan Fulmer as I sit down with him previewing today's matchup and the series this weekend in the conference tournament and what could lie ahead, and well, how ORU gets a Game 1 win here this afternoon. So all that and more is coming your way. Then after that, we'll get you starting lineups and first pitch to kick off postseason baseball. There is truly nothing like it. So stick with us. This is the Empire Fence pregame show. You're listening to the ORU Sports Network.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of four with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our four locations to experience the power of four for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
WAC from Ford Credit.
Looking for delicious fried and rotisserie chicken? Look no further than Waldo's Chicken. Our Southern-style scratch-made sides are the perfect complement to our mouth-watering chicken. With dine-in, drive-through, and catering options, we got you covered for all occasions. Let us handle your next fundraising event, team lunch, or family gathering with our full-service catering options. Enjoy all your favorite sports with lots of TVs, and don't miss out on our daily food and drink specials each week. With 2 convenient locations at Broken Arrow's Tiger Hill Plaza and 71st and Yale. Waldo's Chicken, the best fried chicken in Oklahoma.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Welcome back to the Empire Fence pregame show ahead of the opening round of the Summit League Baseball Tournament. Connor Clark with head coach Ryan Fulmer. And, well, Coach, we've been leading up to this week for quite some time, but it's finally here. Postseason week is upon us. You guys take on the 4th-seeded Jackrabbits of South Dakota State, a team you guys swept in the regular season. But, of course, you haven't seen them in a while. But now it's, you have success or your season's over. It's that pivotal point of the year. And what's been that message to your team? And as you guys attack this series, what's the mindset?
Well, I think, you get to this time of year, you don't do anything different than what got you to this point. We've been a very good team to this point. So just got to go out and do what we do, execute, make a swing, make a pitch, make a play, whatever we need to do to kind of stay in the right column.
You guys got Easton Teal on the bump, and, of course, he's been really the horse for the last 2 years now for your pitching staff, and he comes off of a pretty good 4-inning outing, of course, by design against Northern Colorado. But now you kind of get to that point where you can take that leash off of him. I'm sure that feels good for him as well. But how much confidence does that give you as a coaching staff and really your guys' lineup as well, knowing that, you got a guy with the caliber of his out of the bump?
Yeah, it's that calming effect. I mean, he's been that guy for 2 years now, and just know he's going to give you an opportunity to be in the game and give you a chance to win. And, that's all we expect out of him today. Get to those middle innings, give us a chance, and hand it over to that good bullpen.
You guys face off against Sam Schlecht for them, a right-hander, and a guy who you guys got to up in Brookings. He scored 7 runs off of him, but he did pitch pretty well down in Chapman Park. And, of course, that was kind of in that point of the season where it felt like every game was a 1-run, low-scoring game at Chapman. But what do you notice about Schlecht's arm and what he can bring to the table on the mound today?
Well, he's that guy that really pitches. It's going to be a 3 or 4 pitch mix, all of them for strikes, any pitch, any count. So, again, if he controls your rhythm, if you see us getting out front a bunch, he's got a chance to be in there for a while. So we got to do a really, really good job with our rhythm, stay in the middle of the field. Again, create some traffic. I think the one thing we did well in Brookings is we created a lot of opportunities, and when we were able to do that, right, the game sped up a little bit. So we're going to have to get some base runners early, make a swing early, and put some pressure on them.
You guys have hit the long ball a ton recently, a little bit smaller of a yard here today as well. And you could go to the same point defensively, too. How do you keep the ball in the ballpark on that end? And, of course, how do you keep hitting it out of the ballpark here this weekend?
Well, I think, from a pitching standpoint, we got to have some fastball command. I think when you think about Easton, you think fastball command, you think command-oriented kind of guy. So he's got to be able to throw a breaking ball per strike, got to be able to command the fastball, especially down at the bottom of the zone. And on the other side, man, we got to get some balls elevated. You got to see a ball up and not miss them. So again, we know at some point, again, we're going to have to make a swing, make a pitch, make a play, and stay on the right side.
Luke Lusky's a big name that pops out for them in the lineup, a guy who hits for a ton of power, hits over 300 double-digit home runs. And, of course, you guys have seen plenty of those type of players this year, but especially in a setting like this where you've seen him so much, how do you go about putting together a scouting report for him? Because, it's, equally the same amount of work that he's seen against your guys' pitching staff as well.
Yeah, you get to this time of year, both teams know each other very, very well. This will be matchup number 7 on the season. So, again, there's no secrets as to what we're going to try to do or what they're going to try to do. Really, it comes down to execution, being able to execute pitches on the mound and again, find some mistakes on the other end of it. So, again, both teams know each other very, very well. Those two guys they have sitting in the middle of their lineup, and Lusky and Graw are really, really good. And we got to make sure we take care of business around those two guys too. We got to make sure that the bases are clean when those two guys come up. So again, execution is the name of the game.
You guys had 3 days off in between games, and kind of the narrative last week was you guys played, game, really no rest. How important were those 3 days off? I know, granted, on the road, one of them was a travel day, but still a chance to kind of get away from the game for a little bit and mentally reset.
Yeah, it feels like forever ago since we played. I mean, Saturday seems like an eternity ago. So it's good to have a chance to get out here and play, and the weather's going to be better than expected. So it should be a great day to play.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. The sun is out for the first time since we've been up here in the Twin Cities, so that is always a good thing as well. Last thing for you guys have a lot of the same players that you had on the group a year ago that made it to the championship game in this tournament. And we talk about experience benefiting your guys' team all year long, but especially in a setting like this. How does the experience from last year really apply to this year, if at all?
Yeah, I think some of it does. I think the pressure of the moment, guys understand it a little bit better. But I don't know if much of it carries over. That was a long time ago. So we're happy to be where we're at. I think we're in a good spot. We got a loaded up bullpen. We got our guy on the mound, and now we got to go compete.
Coach, as always, thanks so much for the time. Good luck today.
Thank you.
That's head coach Ryan Fulmer. We'll get you starting lineups and first pitch of Game 1 of the Summit League Tournament coming your way next on the ORU Sports Network.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
WAC from Ford Credit.
Looking for delicious fried and rotisserie chicken? Look no further than Waldo's Chicken. Our Southern-style scratch-made sides are the perfect complement to our mouth-watering chicken. With dine-in, drive-through, and catering options, we got you covered for all occasions. Let us handle your next fundraising event, team lunch, or family gathering with our full-service catering options. Enjoy all your favorite sports with lots of TVs, and don't miss out on our daily food and drink specials each week. With 2 convenient locations at Broken Arrows, Tiger Hill Plaza, and 71st and Yale. Waldo's Chicken, the best fried chicken in Oklahoma.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Just about ready to go here from Game 1 of the Summit League Baseball Tournament. The top-seeded Golden Eagles taking on the 4th-seed South Dakota State. ORU rocking the all-home whites, the Jackrabbits in the all-road grays. We'll have the national anthem for you, and then on the other side, starting lineups and first pitch. So don't go anywhere. Golden Eagle Baseball continues after this on the ORU Sports Network.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
Get people in your door by going outdoors. Out there, it's drive time all the time. Travelers are a captive audience from point A to point B, and they'll see your advertising all day, every day. People change radio stations, but they rarely change their commute to work or their favorite places. It's high reach, high frequency, and one of the most dependable advertising mediums around. Let the professionals at Lamar Outdoor help you tap this valuable resource today.
Ready to go here from Game 1 from Seabird Field on the campus of the University of Minnesota, just outside of downtown Minneapolis, as the top-seeded Oral Roberts Golden Eagles take the field defensively and will meet the starting 9 for the South Dakota State Jackrabbits, brought to you by LaCourse Law. Owen Seeger, the center fielder, leads things off. Nolan Graw at third base plays second. Nate Watcher, the right fielder, he bats third. Luke Lusky, the designated hitter in the cleanup spot here today for the Jackrabbits. Luke Jones, the catcher, bats fifth. Dayton Franke over at first base batting sixth. Luke Robalewski, the left fielder, in the seventh spot. Keegan Jerschley playing shortstop and batting eighth. Nick Work, the second baseman, bats ninth. They face off against the right-handed Easton Teal, 311 with a 4-2 record. The sophomore with 72 and a third innings has given up 66 hits, 27 runs, 25 of them earned, 19 walks, 67 Ks, an opponent average of 244. He has faced the Jackrabbits twice this year in those 2 meetings, back all the way on March the 13th. Through 7 innings, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 1 walk, 4 Ks. And then on April 17th up in Brookings, he threw 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So he has fared quite well against the Jackrabbits this season. Both of those games, of course, wins, as ORU has swept the regular season series in 2026. The Golden Eagles look like this defensively. Connie Yates behind the dish. Fender over at first. Davis, your Summit League Defensive Player of the Year, at second. Hudson Ellis at shortstop, and Kelly at third. Left to right in the outfield, it goes Combs, Tanaka, and Edmondson, a defensive unit ranked top 10 in the country, 8th in fielding percentage at .982, which leads the Summit. 35 errors committed, 40 double plays turned this year. It has been a stellar year for the Golden Eagle defensive unit as they are ready to rock here in game number 1. ORU in the all-whites with the Oral Roberts in navy blue script across the chest. They got the navy blue numbers on the back. They rock the navy blue caps with the ORU Flame logo on the front. The Jackrabbits go with the all-gray uniforms, and it says state in cursive across the chest with the navy numbers and lettering on the front and the back outline in gold. And the stripe going down the gray pants with the royal blue caps for the Jackrabbits. The Owen Seeger, 1 of 3 lefties in this lineup, steps in to lead things off, playing center field, batting .353 in 30 games. He has started all of them. As Teal comes out of the wide, and he fires in the game's first pitch, and it is in there for a called strike. We're off and running at 12:04 p.m. It is 55 degrees and sunny, but it feels a little bit warmer than that, especially down on the turf surface. A lot more warmer down there. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Teal. That went in there for a called strike, 2 over the inside part of the plate. Seeger with a 6-game hit streak. Hits in 10 of his last 11. Went 4 for 11 last weekend in Omaha to wrap up the regular season. Teal comes out of the wide in his 0-2 pitch on the way. A little bit upstairs for a ball. Make it 1-2. We mentioned pretty much all turf surface here except for the mound and the batter's circle, the big Minnesota M in shallow center field in that maroon and gold color as well. Here's the 1-2 from Teal. Ventures inside of the knees to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, if you remember last year, Teal against the Jackrabbits in the Summit League tournament, and it was also in game 1. He threw 8 innings. He was masterful, but that was the only time we'd see him in the Summit League tournament. Here's the 2-2. That one grounded foul. Look out in the ORU dugout, first base side. It ricochets off the netting just above it. And it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good crowd here for game number 1. Pretty split evenly with royal blue and navy blue between these two teams. As Teal ready and fires in yet another 2-2. Soft grounder, but that'll sneak through up the middle for a leadoff base hit into center field. And Owen Siegert gets the party started. Leadoff base runner on for the Jackrabbits. And that'll bring up Nolan Graw, the Summit League first-teamer. Batting .328 this year. Hits in 4 of his last 5. And a guy who gets on base a lot. 25 walks and just 24 strikeouts this year. Leadoff man on after a Siegert single. Both of these teams 1-1 in neutral site games this year. And ORU has not played a neutral site game in quite some time. You got to go all the way back to late February. First pitch to another left-handed batter. Misses outside for a ball. Siegert, Nolan Graw, and Dayton Franke are the 3 lefties. So Teal will face 3 consecutive right-handed batters after Graw is over. He'll throw back over to first, not in time. Graw with hits in 4 of his last 5, went 5 for 13 with a homer, a triple, and 5 driven in at Tal Anderson Field in Omaha last weekend. Teal center of the belt, fires in the 1-0. That one hits the bottom half for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Golden Eagles took 2 of 3 from Northern Colorado to round up their regular season, stopping what was a 4-game losing streak. It was the first losing streak since late February. Here's the 1-1. Hit the other way, foul back into the left over everybody's head. And we will do a 1-2 now. Teal ranks in the top 5 in a lot of different categories. No surprise to anybody. First in ERA, first in opponent average, 3rd in innings pitched, 3rd in Ks, 1st in backwards Ks. Here's the 1-2, a swing and a miss, a drop 3rd strike. And they will not need to complete the throw over to first since there was a runner located there. Siegert does go to second in the process. But there is the first strikeout for Easton Teal. 1 gone with a runner in scoring position, and in steps Nate Walker. Honorable mention in the Summit this year. A right fielder batting .307. Hits in 7 of his last 9. The Teal looks back at Siegert working out of the stretch and fires in the first pitch. A little bit off the plate for a ball. And Teal's last 2 starts, giving up a .280 average to right-handed hitting. They're 7 of 25 coming into today. Here's the pitch home. Misses a little bit low to make it 2 balls and no strikes. Walker with hits in 7 of 9. Did struggle a little bit, though, at Omaha, just 2 for 13. And a big threat looming on deck, so you'd love to get Walker here. The 2-0, a little bit low again. 3 balls, no strikes. So Teal likely throwing down the pipe here, as Walker will probably take all the way with a count being 3-0. He looks back at second, fires the pitch home, and that went in there for a called strike. We mentioned Teal 3rd in overall Ks. That was his 68th. He has 24 strikeouts looking, which leads the league. He's also 1st in runs and earned runs allowed. 3rd in walks allowed. 4th in homers allowed with 8 of them. The 3-1 fires home. Just a little bit off the plate, and Teal thought that was strike 2, but instead it's a 1-out walk for Nate Walker. And there are 2 on now for one of the most dangerous hitters in the Summit. That is Luke Lusky, first-teamer this year. The DH batting .315, 12 homers, 52 driven in. It's in 8 of his last 9 games. And got to be careful here if you're Easton Teal and company. 2-1 with only one out here in the top of the first. First pitch home from Teal is a liner caught by Davis on the line drive, steps on second. He did not get there in time, but they do retire Lusky to make it 2 gone. Nice play from your Summit League Defensive Player of the Year, Martell Davis. A big second out. And here comes Luke Jones. Honorable mention this year for Jones. This is his 32nd game, his 27th start, batting .256. He has struggled lately, though. Hitless in his last 4. Went 0 for 8 in 2 games in Omaha last weekend. First pitch on the way from Teal. A slider that drops in for a called strike. But Davis nearly had the 41st double play of the year for Oral Roberts. The slide from Seager back into second just barely beat him. Teal looks back at second, fires in the 0-1. Big swing and a miss. Ball that travels low and outside, and he gets Jones to chase. 1 homer, 12 RBIs for Jones this year. And Teal a strike away from getting out of a scoreless top of the first despite some traffic. A look back at second, fires home the 0-2 outside. Tried the same breaking ball, but this time Jones able to lay off there. Dayton Franke waiting on deck. Teal likes his sign. Looks back and fires home the 1-2. Fouled straight back to the netting. This is a Jackrabbit team that won 5 more games this year than they did a season ago with the 21. They have played some pretty good baseball at times, but again, against ORU, Golden Eagles have just had their number in recent memory. 1-2 on the way from Teal. Off the end of the bat, foul ground over from first base Fender. He just barely runs out of room as it lands just in front of the bullpen. Both bullpens located down the lines here in Minnesota, just beyond each team's respective dugout. We'll try the 1-2 pitch yet again. Teal looks back at second and fires home. Low and outside, 2-2. Now heading into this tournament, we mentioned in the pregame, ORU looking for their first tourney title since 24. South Dakota State has not won a Summit League tournament title since 2013. They're trying to snap what has turned into a little bit of a lengthy drought as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on with 2 out here in the top of the first inning. Teal trying to put up a 0, and the 2-2. Outside again, ball 3. Pops out of glove of Connor Yates. Teal has had to work with a little bit of an interesting schedule this week. He was limited to just 4 innings on Thursday against Northern Colorado. That was by design. But a little bit of a shorter week, and he's never really pitched this early in the day. He's usually a nighttime starter, but noon start here this afternoon. Payoff pitch in the air, weakly hit, shallow rights. Edmondson racing in, calls off Davis, makes the catch, inning over. So Easton Teal and company deals with a little bit of traffic here at the top of the first inning, but he works right around it as the Jackrabbits strand 2. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. It's South Dakota State 0 and Oral Roberts coming up for the first time in Game 1 of the Summit League Baseball Tournament. We'll be back with you in a moment. This is the ORU Sports Network.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today. WAC.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
We go to the bottom half of the first inning here from Siebert Field, just outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Oral Roberts coming to the dish for the first time here in the Summit League tournament. Let's meet the Golden Eagles starting nine, brought to you by LaCourse Law. Will Edmondson, the right fielder, leads things off. Makani Tanaka, your player of the year. The center fielder batting second. Vailele Kana-Yates, the catcher, bats third. Cooper Combs, Summit League second teamer in the cleanup spot, playing left field. Martell Davis, your defensive player of the year, is the second baseman. He bats fifth. Cooper Kelly, the third baseman, bats sixth. Ethan Fender, the first baseman, batting seventh. Tyler Broderick getting the start at the DH position here today in the eighth spot. And per usual, Hudson Ellis, the shortstop, bats ninth. They face off against the senior right-hander Sam Schleck, 3-4 with a 6.12 ERA and 64 2/3. Has given up 77 hits, 51 runs, 44 of those earned at 21 walks, 62 strikeouts, and opponent average of 295. Has seen ORU twice and pitched well out of Chapman Park on March 14th, 5 2/3 with 1 unearned run, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 4 Ks. But a little bit of a different story up in Brookings, where he only went 5 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, but only 4 of those earned. No walks and 3 Ks as Will Edmondson steps in to begin the bottom half of the first inning. First pitch on the way to him is in there for a called strike. Edmondson is a Summit League second teamer this season, batting .292, hits in 25 of his last 27 games. He has been so consistent. 0-1, misses low and outside in the dirt. Went 5 for 15, drove in 3 against Northern Colorado last weekend. Schleck down to the wind of the 1-1 pitch. Misses outside yet again. Well, Schleck, a native of Maple Grove, Minnesota, which is a suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota, so not too far from home for him right now. We'll see if that affects his performance. They say that, well, the closer to home you get, the better you perform. 2-1. Oh, this is low and outside again. 3 balls and a strike to Will Edmondson. His last outing was a short one against Omaha. Just 3 1/3, gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The 3-1 pitch to Edmondson. He pops it way high in the air and back into our left, foul. Fills up the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes now. But a Golden Eagle offense that has catapulted into the second overall average in the Summit League after their weekend at Northern Colorado, especially those last 2 games. He scored in bunches. Schleck down to the wind, the payoff pitch. In there for a called strike 3, and Edmondson knew it. So Schleck's off to a good start. A backwards K, his 63rd strikeout of the year, and that'll bring up your Summit League Player of the Year, Makani Tanaka. Team leader in average homers, RBIs, and OPS. Conference leader in homers as well, with 13 of them on a 16-game hit streak. Went 7 for 16 over the weekend, and he was dominant. First pitch to him. Pops it a mile high, left side of the diamond. At third base, it's Grog. It's called off by Keegan Jerschley, who makes the catch. 2 gone. Really quick second out there for Sam Schleck, and now he's got to deal with Vailele Kana-Yates, Summit League first-team catcher. Bases empty, 2 gone here in the bottom of the first inning. Kana-Yates, just as he did last year, really starting to heat up in the latter half of this season. First pitch to him. In there for a called strike. It's your Summit League Player of the Week. Went 9 for 14 in 3 games against Northern Colorado. Went deep 3 times. He drove in 9 runs. A 1 to him. Hits it hard on the ground. A 1-hopper to Jerschley at shortstop. Throws across the diamond. And the Golden Eagles go in order to start off the Summit League tournament. Nice start for Sam Schleck and the Jackrabbits. Both teams come up empty in the first inning. We go to the second, a scoreless tie between the 4-seeded Jackrabbits and the number 1 overall seed, the Golden Eagles. We'll be back in a moment. This is the ORU Sports Network.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
Scoreless tie as we go to the second inning from the Summit League Tournament. Connor Clark here with you on the ORU Sports Network. Waldo's Chicken is the home of Southern Fried and Fire Roasted Chicken. Don't forget the scratch-made sides like mac and cheese, collard greens, and our hand-cut fries. Waldo's Chicken has 3 convenient locations to serve you. 71st in Yale, Broken Arrow, and in Owasso. Dine-in to-go delivery and catering. Waldo's Chicken, proud supporters of Golden Eagle Athletics. Well, 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Jackrabbits. Dayton Franke, the third left-handed batter in the lineup, will lead things off against Easton Teal, who stranded 2 base runners on in the top of the first inning. First pitch from him in the inning is a little bit low for a ball. Luke Robalewski and Keegan Jerschley will be the scheduled 3. Franke batting .211 this year, 4 homers, 31 RBIs. As Teal out of the Y, the 1-0. Loman inside of the feet, 2 balls and no strikes. Teal with a strikeout in the top of the first on a dropped third, gave up a single and a walk as well. But again, both of those runners were stranded on base at first and second. 2-0. That one fouled back the other way by Franke. Franke, a guy who can explode home run-wise. He had 3 homers in a game against ORU in the final series of the regular season last year, but really has not been the same case this year for him. Went 3 for 12 with a homer against Omaha over the weekend. 2-1 to him. Ventures outside, 3 balls and a strike. And kind of a rare sight to see Easton Teal. I don't necessarily want to say struggle with command, but still trying to find that spot here early on in this ball game. 3 balls and a strike to pitch home, and that one fouled off the hands. He jammed him straight back to the netting, and it's a full count. ORU made it all the way to the championship game last year, forced the if necessary game against the North Dakota State Bison, who missed the conference tournament this year. Payoff pitch, another foul ball straight back. So we are guaranteed to have a new conference tournament winner this year. NDSU and St. Thomas, the host school, both missing out on the tournament this year. North Dakota State finished with a 9-16 conference record. St. Thomas 9-18. Another payoff pitch from Easton Teal, and that one hits him. So Franke reaches the painful way on a hit by pitch, and the leadoff man for the second consecutive inning is on for the Jackrabbits, and that'll bring up Luke Robalewski, the left fielder, batting .230 this season.
Number 5, Luke Robleski.
Let's see what Teal and company can do here. Double play ball opportunity for the Golden Eagle defense. First pitch. And this could be to a one-hopper to Davis. Backhand stop, flips the second one. Throw to first in time. Beautifully done, 4-6-3. That's your defensive player of the year, making it happen. And just like that, the bases are empty with 2 gone. A sliding backhand stop on a screamer for Martell Davis. And now a chance to face the minimum as Keegan Jerschley steps in, the shortstop. 41st double play turn this year by Oral Roberts. It's a big reason why they've been so good defensively. And shows you why right there. First pitch on the way. A little bit outside to Jerschley, batting .262. 3-game hit streak for him after a 3 hitless streak. Went 6 for 14 last weekend. Bases empty, 2 gone. The 1-0 curls in for a strike. It's the outside part of the plate. Jerschley with 2 homers and 18 RBIs this year. Another breaking ball. That one fouled back off the end of the bat to make it 1-2. And now Teal will strike away from facing the minimum here in inning number 2 after that 4-6-3 turn. Teal has his side out of the wide of the 1-2 pitch. Just off the plate. Nearly had strike 3. A close pitch there, but Home plate umpire says no, sir. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Teal fires home. In the air, foul ground, first base side. Fender over. Will he have room? He's on the warning track. Reaches over the wall and makes the catch. Inning over. Another really nice defensive play for this Golden Eagle defensive group. And Easton Teal faces only 3 here in the top of the second. We go to the bottom half. A scoreless tie between the Jackrabbits and the Golden Eagles. Game 1 of the Summit League tournament continues when we return. This is the ORU Sports Network.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
A great defensive inning for the Golden Eagles allows Easton Teal to face the minimum in the top half of the second, and we take a scoreless tie to the bottom half here in Game 1 of the Summit League Tournament. Connor Clark here with you on the ORU Sports Network. The Golden Eagle offense trying to get going here early in this one after going in order against Sam Schlecht. In the bottom of the first, it'll be 4, 5, and 6. Cooper Combs, Martell Davis, and Cooper Kelly, the scheduled 3. Combs, second teamer this year in the Summit League, hits in 14 of his last 15, batting .296. Schlecht comes out of the wind and fires home in there for a called strike. Combs 3 for 13 last weekend. The 1-0 in that one, or 0-1 is low and outside. But Schlecht, a guy who started his career in the Summit in this city as the 1-1 pitch. That one just barely fouled off. But played for St. Thomas in 22. Only saw 3 appearances, though. Has been with South Dakota State since 2024. Had a pit stop at Iowa Central Community College as the 1-2 on the ground. A slow roller over to first as Franke will take it himself. 1 up, 1 down here in the second. So that brings up Martell Davis, first teamer defensive player of the year this year in the Summit. Got a .307. It's at 6 of his last 8. Homered for the 4th time this year over the weekend. Base is empty, 1 out. Native of Seminole, Oklahoma. First pitch, he hits it well out into left field. Robalewski ranging back, looks up, goodbye. On the first pitch he sees, Martell Davis, a solo shot into left, and he opens up the scoring in the postseason. It's 1-0 Oral Roberts. Number 5 on the year for Martell Davis, and a big swing here early in this one. And the momentum of the good guys here in the second. So that'll bring up Cooper Kelly. All Summit League honorable mention this year, batting .280. But a line shot over the wall in left. Mentioned it is a smaller yard here today. First pitch in there for a called strike. He gets the switch hitting Kelly batting from the left side. 33rd home run for the Golden Eagles in now their last 21 games. Pitch home, big swing and a miss to make it 0-2 on Kelly. A 1-0 Golden Eagles here in the bottom of the second. Schlecht with a slight nod of the head and comes set. 0-2 pitch on the way to Kelly upstairs. Schlecht has set a career high for starts. Only started 6 games last year, 13 of them this year in all 13 appearances. 1-2 pitch. Kelly gets under it. Shallow right field as Walker is in. Back from second. It's Work making the catch. And there are 2 gone. So that'll bring up Ethan Fender, the first baseman. Base is empty. 2 gone and a run in thanks to Martell Davis's solo shot.
Number 21, Ethan Fender.
Fender batting .216 hitless rather, in 3 of his last 4, just 1 of 6 over the weekend. But that one was a solo shot. First pitch is grounded foul, third base side, rather weakly. But more on Schlecht. He has set career highs in a lot of categories. Innings pitched, he's nearly doubled his innings pitched last year through 36 of them, 64 2/3 this year. 0-1, and that one fouled back to the backstop now. 0-2 to Fender. He went from 38 Ks a year ago to 62 Ks this year, and then in a lot more innings pitched, he has 1 less walk than he did last year, 22 to 21 this year. 0-2 to Fender, low and outside in the dirt. Homers have been an issue, though, for Schlecht. That one from Davis is the 12th he has given up this year. A 1-2 pitch on the way to Fender, and he hits it high and deep out in the left. Robalewski over towards the line, just shy of the track. He makes the catch, and the inning is over. But the scoring has gotten started, courtesy of number 7. Martell Davis's 5th home run of the year has put Oral Roberts up 1. It's 1-0 as we head to the 3rd. This is Game 1 of the Summit League Tournament right here on the ORU Sports Network.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
WAC from Ford Credit.
Looking for delicious fried and rotisserie chicken? Look no further than Waldo's Chicken. Our Southern-style scratch-made sides are the perfect complement to our mouth-watering chicken. With dine-in, drive-through, and catering options, we got you covered for all occasions. Let us handle your next fundraising event, team lunch, or family gathering with our full-service catering options. Enjoy all your favorite sports with lots of TVs, and don't miss out on our daily food and drink specials each week. With 2 convenient locations at Broken Arrows, Tiger Hill Plaza, and 71st and Yale. Waldo's Chicken, the best fried chicken in Oklahoma.
We head to the 3rd inning, and Oral Roberts with an early 1-0 lead thanks to Martell Davis's solo shot in the bottom of the 2nd. Family owned and operated since 1969, the Don Thornton Automotive Group is driven to make car buying easy and your ownership experience exceptional. Tulsa's choice for performance and luxury, the Don Thornton Auto Group, proud supporters of ORU athletics. Connor Clark here with you on the ORU Sports Network. So glad you can make us part of your Wednesday afternoon. Postseason baseball is upon us, and 9-1-2 due up for the Jackrabbits. Nick Work, Owen Siegert, and Nolan Graw to face off against Easton Teal. Face the minimum in the 2nd. First pitch on the way is in the air out into deep right field. Edmondson ranging back, but he'll make the catch just shy of the warning track. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 3rd inning. So that'll bring up Owen Siegert, who singled to start off the ball game, reached 2nd on a drop 3rd strike call. He was stranded there. So back-to-back-to-back lefties between Siegert and Graw. Deal out of the wind and fires home. First pitch a little bit high and outside for him. Teal at 40 pitches now. Again, he had to work a little bit in that 1st inning. 2nd inning, a lot more economical, and that double play will help that, of course. 1-0 pitch on the way from Teal. A little bit low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Base is empty with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. Teal ready, and the 2-0 pitch home. Low and outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Well, ORU is open up the scoring first. And when they do score first this year, they are 22-10. Very favorable for the Golden Eagles. 3-0, that one right down the chute for a strike. Golden Eagles have now scored 56 runs in the second inning, which is the largest output of runs they've had all year in a singular inning. Teal out of the line, the 3-1. In there for a called strike 2, hits the bottom half of the zone. Defensively for their opponents, the third inning is their opponents' one of their least productive innings as the pitch home fouled back into the left. So we'll see another payoff pitch. Bases empty and 1 out still. Teal out of the line trying to get Seegert for the first time. Payoff pitch lifted in the air, left side foul ground. Kelly overruns out of room at third base as it hits the berm. Berms on each side beyond each of our respective dugouts. Another payoff pitch home, another foul ball back into the left over our heads. We're here at Siebert Field on the University of Minnesota's campus. See Huntington Bank Stadium off to our right. We see Jane Sage Cowell Stadium, the softball stadium, just beyond right field. These two stadiums face each other. Another 3-2. A liner into center field. Will it stay up for Tanaka? No, it won't. Another hit for Owen Seegert, who is 2 for 2 in his first 2 at-bats. And here comes Nolan Graw. A runner on with 1 out.
Third base, number 2, Nolan Graw.
Graw struck out his first time up on that drop third. Another double play opportunity here for Oral Roberts. They've turned 1. They've nearly turned 2 after that line out to Davis in the first inning. He was just barely late stepping on the bag. First pitch, a liner down the left field line and well foul. Look out in the apartments. There is an apartment building that overlooks the baseball facility. And, well, if you lived in said apartments, you'd probably be out on the balcony if you're a baseball fan. We have a couple of those currently watching from their balconies. Kind of rooftop at Wrigley-ish, just in foul territory. Throw back over to first, not in time, as Seegert back in without a problem. Teal ready, 0-1. And they're going to call a balk on Easton Teal, so Seegert is going to get second base. We saw ORU be the benefit receiver of a lot of balks over the weekend against Northern Colorado, which they committed 3 of them. Well, this time a balk on Teal, very rare balk on Teal. So that puts Seegert in scoring position. Here's the 1-1. In the air, shallow left. Combs breaking in towards the line, and he camps out underneath to make the catch. 2 gone. A big second out after the block. Here comes Nate Walker. He walked his first time up. Runner on second and 2 gone. Well, Seegert on the base paths, we were getting ready to tell you, he's not a huge threat, just 4 for 4 stealing bases after Teal threw back to him. But again, the block gave him a free 90. Oh, are you leading 1-0 here in the top of the third? Teal looking for another 0. First pitch travels up and in for a ball. Again, it's been an outing for Teal where he has had to work. But as long as there's no damage on the scoreboard, that's really the bottom line. He looks back at second, fires in the 1-0, swing and a miss. Breaking ball low and outside. Got Walker to chase with him. Or are you leading 1-0? Teal looking for another 0. The 1-1. Tried the same pitch. This time Walker lays off. It's 2 balls and a strike. Again, Teal, 5 innings last time against South Dakota State in some pretty harsh conditions up in Brookings. 2-1. Off the end of the bat, a liner right to Hudson Ellis. Inning over. A little leap for a good measure for him, but He is barely having to move over there at shortstop, and the inning comes to a close. Another 0 for Easton Teal and the Golden Eagle defense. We go to the bottom half. 1-0 Oral Roberts here in the first round of the Summit League Baseball Tournament. We'll be back with you here in just a moment. This is the ORU Sports Network.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
1-0 Golden Eagles as we go to the bottom half of the third inning. Martell Davis's solo shot in the second is the difference right now. In the opening round of the Summit League Baseball Tournament, Connor Clark here with you on the ORU Sports Network. Tyler Broderick, Hudson Ellis, and Will Edmondson, the schedule 3, 8, 9, and 1. As Broderick getting the start for the 19th time this year, this time in the DH spot, batting .215. Got a start over the weekend against Northern Colorado. Went 1 for 5 with an RBI and 2 runs in that weekend series. Another lefty in this lineup. A rare time where ORU has 3 capable lefties in the lineup. First pitch on the way from Schlecht is outside for a ball. Broderick, in his 34 games leading into today, he's been a guy who's really come through in some big spots for Oral Roberts throughout the year. The 1-0, big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. That 1 homer was a big home run of insurance earlier in the conference schedule at home against St. Thomas. 1-1 pitch on the way. Broderick takes a strike inside. Makes it a ball and 2 strikes. Native of California. Schlecht looks in. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 went upstairs with high heat, and Broderick comes up empty. Second strikeout for Schlecht is the first stat of the third, and here comes Hudson Ellis. Ellis, second teamer in his first year with the Golden Eagles of the Summit League, batting .286. It's in 5 of his last 6 games now. Bases empty and 1 gone. Here in the home half of the third. Pitch home to Ellis. A liner, but right at his counterpart at shortstop, Jershely. 2 gone. The 1 pitch for the second out. Here is Will Edmondson stepping in for the second time. Struck out looking in at the bottom of the first. Are you in danger of going in order for a second time against Schlecht? They've got the 1 hit, and that 1 hit left the yard. Off the bat of Martell Davis. Schlecht down to the line and fires home. Edmondson shows bunt, takes it back, and he takes a strike. But again, if you missed it earlier, ORU 22-10 when they score first this year. So the numbers are on their side. 0-1. Edmondson with a chopper over to third base, cut off by Graw in front of Jershely. The shortstop, a wild throw, pulls Franke off the bag, and it pops out of his glove on the tag attempt. And Edmondson will get into second standing up. So a little bit of a chaotic sequence there. The throw from Graw pulled Franke off the bag. He tried to apply the tag all in one motion. It appeared he did, but then the ball squeaked right out of his glove into shallow right, allowing Edmondson to go up an extra 90. And here comes Makani Tanaka with an extra opportunity here in this inning. That should go as a throwing error on Graw. It would be the 43rd error of the year for the Jackrabbits. I think there may be a pitch comm device problem here with Schlecht as he's off the bump and taking it off of his wrist. And yeah, he's going to get a new one from his third base side dugout. So we'll pause for that for just a second. And now maybe it's working. He waves off the new device and he puts back on his wrist, walking back towards the bump. So we've seen a couple of things involving PitchCom this year go wrong, and pretty simple solution. They just change it out. But again, it's still kind of funny how big of a role technology playing in baseball these days. It used to be, hey, you throw down one finger, that means fastball. Now you got to listen to some sort of device in your hat and hope it's right. First pitch all the way to Tanaka, big swing and a miss. And Tanaka, a pop out to the shortstop, Jerschley, who's been busy here in the early going. 0 for 1. It was a double away from the cycle over the weekend in northern Colorado. 0-1. Grounds it foul off the fencing of the ORU dugout. Nothing at 2. But a huge year for Makani Tanaka, player of the year in the Summit League, and very well deserved. Summit League leader in homers with 13 of them. Average of 329 heading into today. And guys are just really fun to be around. 0-2. Down the left field line and foul ground. It will leave the ballpark. But Makani's been a part of that Hawaiian tandem. Him and Vailele Kanait's 2 and 3 in the lineup. They have done so much damage throughout the year, especially last weekend. 2 of the most dangerous hitters in the Summit League and in mid-major baseball. Schleck 0-2 again. Tanaka pops it up. Foul ground left side again. Will it stay in play? No, it won't. Just beyond the berm. It bounces over to the shed located by the South Dakota State's bullpen down the left field line. So the battle continues. Runner on second, 2 gone here in the bottom of the third. Edmondson getting there via an error on the throw from Graw. Schleck looks back at him, the 0-2, and Tanaka swings and misses for strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning for Schleck, his 3rd of the ball game, and ORU strands a runner on second to close out the bottom of the 3rd. We go to the 4th. Oral Roberts leading the Jackrabbits by 1. It's 1-0, courtesy of Martell Davis's solo shot in the 2nd. We head to the 4th after we come back on the ORU Sports Network.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
We go to the 4th inning, 1-0 Golden Eagles here in the opening round of the Summit League Baseball Tournament here from the University of Minnesota. Connor Clark here with you on the ORU Sports Network as Luke Lusky leads things off for the Jacks here in the top of the 4th. Oral Roberts threatens after an error in the bottom half of the 3rd, but they come up empty. They still lead 1-0. Teal back to work. He got a line out from Lusky his first time up, and the first pitch home is in there for a called strike. 55 pitches now for Easton Teal entering the 4th inning of play. He's given up 2 hits, 1 walk, and a struck out batter. 0-1. In the air, high and deep into left field. Combs raging back at the track, looks up, and it's gone. Solo home run from Luke Lusky, his 13th of the year, and we are tied at 1 here in the top of the 4th. Ties Makani Tanaka for the league lead, and the 9th homer given up by Easton Teal. RBI number 53 for Lusky. A small ballpark, playing small right there as Lusky cleared the fence by a good 30 feet. And here is Luke Jones, who flew out to right field his first time up. The homers could be the storyline throughout the weekend, no matter who you are in this tournament. First pitch on the way to Jones, and that one off the glove of Connie Yates back into the right. It is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. We mentioned ORU has hit a ton of home runs recently, but giving up the home run ball has been something that the pitching staff has struggled with at points this year. There's a liner down the right field line that'll drop into the corner as Jones racing around first base. He'll get into second standing up. And a double follows up the solo shot. And the Jackrabbits in business here in the 4th. That brings up Dayton Franke, who's hit by a pitch his first time up. Runner in scoring position. Still nobody out here in the 4th. But back to that notes. ORU has now given up 75 home runs as a pitching staff. Teal trying to find some answers here in the 4th. Looks back at second base and fires home to Franke. Big swing and a miss for a strike. Franke, the big left-hander, had a 3-game hit streak come to a close in the regular season finale on Saturday against Omaha. Native of Plymouth, Minnesota, sophomore. Teal fires in the 0-1. A check swing. It catches the outside part of the plate anyway for strike 2. This would be a big out if Teal could get it. Try and calm things down here in this inning after a fiery start for the Jackrabbits. Teal ready. A glance at second base. And the 0-2 pitch. Fouled back to the left. We'll try it again. Look out the apartments over there. And this is where things are really interesting, too, because, again, these two teams have not seen each other in quite a while, and you put them in a postseason setting where Jackrabbits really are playing with nothing to lose. Here's the 0-2. Grounder over to the right side of the infield. Davis at second base has it on the fringe of the outfield grass. Makes the play, but it does move the runner over. So 1 out now with the runner 90 feet away. And that brings up Luke Robalewski, who grounded into a 4-6-3 double play his first time up. The solo shot from Luke Lusky has tied us up here in the top half of the 4th. Solo shot for either side now. The runner on third, the go-ahead run in the form of Luke Jones. First pitch on the way from Teal. A little bit outside for a ball. The Jackrabbits are out hitting ORU 4-1 here in the early going. 1 error for the Jacks, none for ORU. They've been pretty good defensively with the plays they've had to make. Teal ready, the 1-0. Breaking ball fouled back into the right. Evens up the count at 1. The Golden Eagles have given up now 35 runs in the 4th inning this year, which is the second most. 1-1. Teal jammed him, but it's fouled back into the right yet again. Again, would be a huge out if Teal is able to retire Robalewski, especially if they're able to keep the runner at third, Jones at bay. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Teal deep breath and fires home. Off the end of the bat, foul off the netting. So we'll try it again as the battle continues. And as of late for this ORU squad, it's been more about the fast starts that they've been getting off to, but today has been not necessarily a slow start, but they have found themselves in trouble a few times already. Another 1-2 from Teal. A little bit outside, trying to get her to chase, but he lays off. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Luke Robalewski. .230 hitter this year. He's hitless in 3 of his last 5. And he's 1 for his last 9. Teal looks in, fires the 2-2. A little bit upstairs. Count is full. And again, Easton Teal really having to labor through the first few innings of this start, nearing 70 pitches now. Runner on third and only 1 out. We're tied at 1 in the top of the 4th. Payoff pitch on the way. Low and outside, ball 4. So walk, not necessarily the worst thing in the world for Easton Teal. Puts runners on the corners and reinstates your more traditional double play. As Keegan Jerschley, who fouled out his first time to Ethan Fender, steps in. So the Golden Eagles will be looking for something on the ground here in this situation. Runners on the corners, only one out. Teal out of the stretch, fires home. This is low and outside. Jerschley lays off. He took the bat off of his shoulder for a half second. But a big threat continues for the Jackrabbits here early in this game. Top of the fourth. 1-0. Now he shows bunt, pushes at first base side. Fender has only plays over to first. There is no play as Davis is late covering, and the run comes in to score. It's 2-1 Jackrabbits. So a bunt single from Keegan Jerschley drives in Luke Jones, and it's 2-1 South Dakota State with still only one out. Runners on first and second now as Nick Work digs in. And Wes Davis is going to come out and talk to his starter, pitching coach for Oral Roberts. The bullpen is vacant, but probably an earlier than scheduled meeting between him and his catcher. Wes Davis, accompanied by Director of Player Development Parker Frazier this year, have done such a wonderful job with the pitching staff this year. The numbers just show it from top to bottom. And of course, Easton Teal has led that charge. And again, if you get out of the inning, it's only 2-1. Obviously, still a ton of baseball left to play. You're not panicking. But it has been a little bit of a hit parade here in this frame. That RBI for Jerschley, by the way, his 19th of the year. Extends his hit streak to 4 games. Work flew out to right field his first time up. First pitch from Teal, a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And there's that command that we're used to seeing from Teal on a 73rd pitch of the ball game. He's been a little bit wide with that slider, but that time he's able to pinpoint it on the edge of the plates. He's set a couple looks back at second. The 0-1. Hit on the ground could be 2. Ellis at shortstop flips to second 1, and Davis mishandles the exchange, and they say they get the out at second base, but the runner Work is safe at first on the fielder's choice. So there are 2 gone, runners on the corners now.
Top of the order, center fielder number 1.
And that'll bring up Owen Siegert, who is already 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. 2-1 Jackrabbits here in the top of the 4th inning. Both runs coming in this inning. A solo shot from Luke Lusky, a bunt RBI single from Jerschley. Siegert has driven in 13 this year. First pitch on the way to him, hits the inside part of the plate for a strike. Guy has dealt with a little bit of injury this year, only playing in 30 games, but he has started all 30 that he's played in. Throw back over to first, not in time. And if you're Teal and company, you love to get out of this inning just down a run. 0-1. Foul tip off of Connie Yates for a strike. It's 0-2. So can Teal get the better of Siegert for the first time this afternoon? Peeks over his shoulder at first before coming set and fires the 0-2 pitch on the ground over to Ellis. This should be the inning. He'll throw over to first in time, and the damage has been limited, but the damage done nonetheless. 2 runs come across for the Jackrabbits. A solo shot from Luke Lusky, and then an RBI bunt single from Keegan Jerschley has given South Dakota State a 2-1 lead as we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. This is the opening round of the Summit League Baseball Tournament. We'll be back in a moment on the ORU Sports Network.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
WAC.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
2-1 Jackrabbits as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning in the opening game of the Summit League Baseball Tournament here on the ORU Sports Network. Need a home run for your next event? Marriott Tulsa Southern Hills and the Ruffin Event Center have been teammates since day one with 100,000 square feet of combined event space. We've always been the city's double play for any occasion. Call 918-493-7000 to secure your dates at Marriott Tulsa Southern Hills today. 2 runs come across in the top half of the inning. A solo shot from Luke Lusky and then a bunt RBI single from Keegan Jerschley. And ORU operating from behind for the first time this afternoon. 3, 4, and 5 due up for Oral Roberts, led off by Vailele Connie Yates. First pitch to him from Schlecht, misses low. Connie Yates grounded out to Jerschley at shortstop his first time up. Combs and Davis scheduled after him. Schlecht out of the line, the 1-0. That one misses low. Ricochets all the way to the backstop off the glove of the catcher, Jones. 2 balls and no strikes to Connie Yates. Trying to extend what is a 3-game hit streak, and a dominant one at that. 2-0. And he jammed him, but a foul back into the right to make it 2 balls and a strike. But outside of the homer given up by Schlecht to Davis, he has looked really good here today. 2-1, outside 3 balls and a strike. Only other base runner for ORU reached on an error. That was Will Edmondson last inning. Schlecht working with some pace here. The 3-1, and Connie Yates with a chopper foul, third base side, over to his third base coach, Ryan Neal. Fills up the count, 3-2. Golden Eagles trying to get the leadoff man on, and their first team all Summit League catcher. Payoff pitch, and Schlecht gets a called strike 3 in the outside part of the plates. 4th K already for Schlecht, and there's one gone here, the 4th. That brings up Cooper Combs.
Left fielder number 12, Cooper Combs.
Well, this weekend, ORU will be honoring ORU Hall of Famer Tom Nito, an ORU baseball alum. He unfortunately passed away in March of this year, but they'll be wearing wristbands throughout the weekend to honor him as Combs shows bunt, pulls it back, and he takes a ball after the appeal. But Nito graduated in 1981. He was inducted into the ORU Hall of Fame in 2006. Was a first-team All-American in 1981. 1-0 pitch from Schlecht. A liner down the left field line just drops foul, and Combs misses extra bases by about a foot. Makes it a ball and a strike. But back then, Nito played for the ORU Titans. And he led ORU to a final national ranking of number 5 in the country. He was drafted in the 3rd round of the 1981 MLB draft by the St. Louis Cardinals. Spent 7 seasons in the big leagues. Also spent time with the Twins here in Minnesota. 1-1 on the way to Combs. A liner. This one will drop fair to left field. Second hit of the ball game for ORU. First for Cooper Combs, making 15 of his last 16. And a 1-out base runner here in the 4th for Martell Davis. But Nito is a World Series champion in 1987 with the Twins. He also won the National League pennant with the Cardinals in 1985. So very decorated MLB career in those 7 seasons as well. So Tom Nito, ORU Baseball Hall of Famer, being honored this weekend. Davis swings at the first pitch, pops it into right center field. Siegert and Walker over there. Siegert calls him off from center, makes the catch, 2 gone. So it's up to Cooper Kelly to try and keep the inning going after the 1-out single from Cooper Combs. 2-1 Jackrabbits here in the bottom of the 4th. Connor Clark here with you on the ORU Sports Network. Kelly flew out to work in right field as he had to venture far back from his second base position. First pitch to Kelly, misses low and outside. Well, the Jackrabbits are 20-27 in the Summit League tournament all time. They have won at least one game in 13 of their 15 appearances. 1-0, and Kelly hits it high down the right field line into foul territory. Walker over. Does he have room? He does not make the catch. Disappears behind the evergreen trees at the back of ORU's bullpen. It did stay in play, but he did come up empty on the catch attempts. With the Jackrabbits 20-27 in the Summit League tournament, ORU against the Summit League tournament field throughout the course of 2026, 14-4. One ball and one strike to Cooper Kelly. And the pitch home, low and outside. ORU split the season series with Omaha, who is the 2 seed, and lost the one game to Northern Colorado. And that was it. A team that started 11-0 in conference play, and of course it's nearly impossible to finish perfect, but trying to seize that momentum. Here is a ground ball into right field, goes through for Cooper Kelly. Both of the Coopers with singles. Combs trying to go corner to corner, and he'll get there standing up. The tying run 90 feet away. Great base running from Cooper Combs after the single from Kelly. And let's see if Ethan Fender can drive in the run. He steps in with 2 on and 2 out. They're on the quarters here at the bottom of the 4th. Fender has driven in 22 this year. Schlecht looks in, comes set in the midsection and fires home the first pitch. Big swing and a miss. Breaking ball on the outside part of the plates. Fender batting .214 with runners in scoring position this year. 0-1 to him. The pitch home from Schlecht, and Fender fouls it off of his shin. 0-2. ORU hits .288 as a unit with runners in scoring position. With 2 outs, they hit .229. Fender individually hits .250. 7 for 28. Both Coopers on base. Combs at third, Kelly at first. ORU trailing by a run. Schlecht ready and fires the 0-2. Fender ground ball over to third base. Graw down to a knee. Throw across the diamond in time, and the inning is over. So ORU does threaten in the 4th with a few base hits, but they come up empty and leave them on the corners. We go to the 5th. The 4th seed, South Dakota State, still on top of the 1-seeded Golden Eagles. When we come back, it's 2-1 Jackrabbits on the ORU Sports Network.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
WAC from Ford Credit.
Looking for delicious fried and rotisserie chicken? Look no further than Waldo's Chicken. Our Southern-style scratch-made sides are the perfect complement to our mouth-watering chicken. With dine-in, drive-through, and catering options, we got you covered for all occasions. Let us handle your next fundraising event, team lunch, or family gathering with our full-service catering options. Enjoy all your favorite sports with lots of TVs, and don't miss out on our daily food and drink specials each week. With 2 convenient locations at Broken Arrows, Tiger Hill Plaza, and 71st and Yale. Waldo's Chicken, the best fried chicken in Oklahoma.
2-1 Jackrabbits as we head to the 5th inning here in the opening round of the Summit League Baseball Tournament. TTCU Federal Credit Union is proud to be the exclusive credit union of Oral Roberts University. Founded by teachers in 1934, TTCU serves more than 150,000 members with 20 branch locations. If you don't have the ORU School Pride Visa debit card, get one today and support the Golden Eagles. Visit ttcu.com/ORU for details. Leeson Teal back to work. He faces out against Nolan Graw out of the 2 spot for the Jacks. First pitch on the way is fouled back into the left. Graw 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout here today. Teal gave up 2 runs in the 4th. A solo shot from Lusky, and then a bunt RBI single from Jerschley is the difference right now. 0-1. Right down the pipe for strike number 2. Teal at 79 pitches. And again, it's been a start in which he's had to work for the majority of it. 0-2 pitch. Weak ground ball over to second base. Davis has it, throws over to first in time. 1 up, 1 down here in the 5th. I feel like that was much needed. And I'll bring up Nate Walker. 0-1 with a line out. He has also walked here today. The leadoff man coming into the 5th had reached 3 out of 4 innings. So, again, it feels like getting it out to begin a frame is a little bit bigger than it usually is. First pitch in there for a called strike. You mentioned earlier Walker, a All-Summit League honorable mention this year. Teal out of the wide of the 0-1. Breaking ball, just a little bit low, but good location to make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Easton Teal was named to the Summit League first team. So probably not many people surprise. 1-1, that went well outside. He pulled that breaking ball, and Teal kind of flexing his arm a little bit after that. Held on to it for a little bit too long there. 2 balls and a strike. Walker is hits in 7 of his last 9. Pitch home, misses low and outside. 3 balls and a strike. Bases empty, 1 gone here in the top of the 5th. ORU trailing 2-1. Teal out of the wide is 3-1. Outside ball 4. His 3rd walk of the day, and he keeps playing with that landing spot on the mound, and I'm not sure he likes where it's located, kind of that divot of where his foot lands. So here comes Luke Lusky, 1 for 2 with that solo shot last inning. A runner on first, 1 out here in the 5th. Pretty uncharacteristic for Teal as well. 3 walks, just 1 strikeout. First pitch on the way. In there for a called strike in the bottom half of the zone. Game 2 of the Summit League tournament will happen at 6 o'clock tonight. The 2-seeded Omaha Mavericks against the 3-seeded Northern Colorado Bears. Teal ready in the 0-1. Hit hard and through to left field on a couple of bounces. Back-to-back base runners for the Jackrabbits here in the 5th. Second hit of the day for Lusky. On first and second with only 1 out for Luke Jones. Jones doubled and scored last inning. He's 1 for 2. He's got 2 on with only 1 out. Jones has driven in 12 runs this year. Teal looks back at second and fires home the first pitch. A liner down the right field line, but foul off the edge of the netting on top of the ORU dugout. Teal gives up a 198 average with runners on base. He's been very, very good in these situations when you look at the season numbers. He looks back at second and fires in the 0-1. A little bit off the plate. A ball and a strike. The ORU pitching staff as a whole gives up a 246 average with runners on base. I mean, again, that's kind of a microcosm of how good the staff has been for ORU this year. Teal's 1-1. Hit on the ground over to Davis. Could be 2. He'll settle for the play at first, and there are 2 outs. Would have been a tough one to try and get the runner at second, so probably a smart decision there from Martell. And there are 2 on with 2 outs now for Dayton Franke.
First base, number 30.
Runners on second and third. Franke was hit by a pitch in the second. He grounded out in the 4th. Teal looking for another 0, and it would go quite a long way. Walker 90 feet away. Lusky at second. First pitch on the way to the lefty, Franke, who fouls it back off the top of the netting. 0-1. Teal with 2 outs gives up a 242 average. Opponents are 22 of 91. Gives up a 238 average to lefties, who came into today 20 of 84 against Teal this year. 0-1. Low and outside. A ball and a strike to Franke. Golden Eagles are getting out hit 6-3 right now. Teal look back at second, fires in at the 1-1. Low and outside, Franke lays off. And Teal is creeping up to that 100 pitch mark already. There is a little bit of action in the ORU bullpen. A right-hander starting to throw. 2-1 from Teal. Big swing and a miss. Evens up the count at 2-2. Ideally, you'd love to get another inning out of Easton Teal here today, but again, if that's going to put you in harm's way in a tournament like this, you don't really want to overdo it. It is Jack Hill up and throwing for Oral Roberts, by the way. The 2-2 in the air, a mile high, left side of the diamond, playable for Ellis at shortstop. He calls off Kelly, and he makes the catch on the fringe of the outfield grass, inning over. So Teal runs into a little bit of traffic, but works his way right out of it here in the fifth. And we're halfway home in the opening round of the Summit League Baseball Tournament. The Jackrabbits holding on to a one-run lead. They lead it 2-1 over the Golden Eagles when we return on the ORU Sports Network.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
Halfway home here in Game 1 of the Summit League Tournament. Connor Clark here with you on the ORU Sports Network. And ORU trying to bounce back. They trailed 2-1 against the 4th-seeded South Dakota State Jackrabbits. They've got 8-9 and 1 up. Tyler Broderick, Hudson Ellis, and Will Edmondson. Broderick struck out his first time up in the 3rd. One of 4 Ks for Schlecht here at his start. He's looked good outside of the solo homer. He's given up to Martell Davis. He's out of the line and fires his first pitch, and Broderick shows bunt, and he bunts it foul back into the left. 0-1 on Broderick. He's now 2 for 14 in his last 12 appearances. But again, a guy throughout this year has come up with some pretty big swings and has played some really good baseball throughout the season. 0-1. Looks at strike 2 over the outside part of the plates. An interesting talking point moving forward, too. Teal has 95 pitches. The question is, does he roll out for inning number 6 or not? Schlecht is only at 53. Here's his 0-2 upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's been a laborious day for Teal, not so much for Schlecht. He did give up 2 hits in the 4th. 1-2 when Broderick takes the ball at eye level. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the Golden Eagles trying to mimic some of that magic, if you will, from the 4th. The 2-2 to Broderick, a swing and a miss for strike 3. He's down on strikes for the 2nd time here today. 5th K for Schlecht is the first out in the 5th. So here's Hudson Ellis. He lined out to his counterpart, Jerschley, at shortstop, his first time up. Bases empty with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch on the way to Ellis. He grounds it foul, third base side. Went 3 for 13 last week, and he drove in 3 on a bases clearing double, a part of that run rule victory on Friday. Part of a 9-run 8th inning in that game. 0-1. That one chopped foul, same spot, third base side. But Ellis has had a really good year. His first real collegiate season, redshirt freshman transferring from DBU. Second team all-league. Well-deserved. Faces an 0-2 pitch from Schlecht, and he misses low. A ball and 2 strikes. We did mention earlier that Hill was up and throwing the Summit League Pitcher of the Year. So again, the question remains, will we see 31 in the 6th? The 1-2, and Ellis skies it out into right field, playable for Walker, who ventures into his left, makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down here at the bottom of the 5th inning. So it's up to Will Edmondson to try and continue the inning. 0 for 2, he reached out an error in the 3rd. Bases empty and 2 gone. And again, lately for ORU, it's been the quick starts that have really helped them out. It's been the back half of the game that really hasn't up until the last, really 2 games. First pitch misses in the dirt for a ball. Kind of started off slow on Friday and, of course, ended with a bang with 9 runs in the 8th inning. They started and really finished with a bang on Saturday. They were up 7-0 after 2 innings. 1-0 from Schlecht, misses low. And sometimes, too, in a postseason game, it's just a matter of, seeing a different arm. You can do so much for a lineup when one guy is just cruising. You dig into that bullpen, and a lot of things can change. 2-0. Edmondson out into right center field. Seager giving chase over to his left. He makes the catch in right center. And the Golden Eagles go in order for the second time here this afternoon. A couple of flyouts and a strikeout for Schlecht. And we go to the 6th. The Jackrabbits still leading by a run. The 4 seed leading the 1 seed 2-1 when we come back. This is Golden Eagle Baseball on the ORU Sports Network.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
2-1 Jackrabbits as we go to the 6th inning in the opening round of the Summit League Baseball Tournament here from the University of Minnesota. Empire Fence of Tulsa leading a legacy built on excellence since 1955. Family owned and operated, 70 years of trust in Oklahoma. Experience the Empire difference today at empirefence.net. Well, we get the answer to our question we posed in the bottom half of the 5th. We do see Easton Teal here in the 6th after ORU goes in order for the second time in that 5th inning. Jackrabbits with a 2-1 lead, and 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Jacks as Luke Robalewski leads things off 0 for 1. He has walked here today. First pitch, he shows bunt, pulls it back, and he takes a strike. Walk to the 4th, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the 2nd. Batting .230 heading into today. Teal's 0-1 on the way. Outside for a ball. It's been that breaking ball that he either just, hasn't had the location, or B, just been a very disciplined day for the Jackrabbit lineup. I think it's a combination of the two. 1-1. Goes back to that breaking ball outside, and this time a disciplined take from Robalewski, who took the bat off of his shoulder but lays off. It's 2 balls and a strike. The Teal looks in out of his wind, the 2-1. Chopped foul back into the left, just shy the on-deck circle for the Jackrabbits, where Keegan Jerschley is waiting. The 2-2 to the leadoff man. Teal fires, misses low and outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 runs, 6 hits, and an error for the Jacks. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Golden Eagles. Payoff pitch in the air, foul ground right side, giving Chase Fender. He may have a play on it, and it skies into the bullpen where Jack Hill makes the catch in the midst of his warm-up. Doesn't count for an out, but still impressive. So we'll try the payoff pitch yet again. And this also gives you a sense of how good Easton Teal has been this year. I mean, he may muster through 6 innings and only give up 2 runs. Payoff pitch, upstairs, ball 4. And the walks have been a little bit of an issue for him here today. That's his 4th walk. A guy who did walk 4 last time against the Jackrabbits up in Brookings. As Jersley steps in with a runner on at nobody outs. And for the 4th time today, the leadoff man has reached for South Dakota State. But this is only the 2nd time all year that Teal has given up 4 walks, and Wes Davis is out of the dugout. They may be pulling the plug. So we shall see, with Jersley waiting on just off to the left of the batter circle. Infield comes in with Wes Davis, and again, we'll see what the decision is here. I wouldn't be surprised if Teal tries to convince Davis to stay in the game, but Davis has been looking down to that bullpen a couple of times. And they're going to make the call. So that'll be it for Easton Teal. He goes 5 innings and leaves after a leadoff walk here in the top of the 6th. Though the Golden Eagle ace is out here in the postseason, but the pitcher of the year is coming in to replace him. We'll tell you all about Jack Hill on the other side. 2-1 Jackrabbits here in the opening round of the Summit League Tournament on the ORU Sports Network.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
WAC from Ford Credit.
Looking for delicious fried and rotisserie chicken? Look no further than Waldo's Chicken. Our Southern-style scratch-made sides are the perfect complement to our mouth-watering chicken. With dine-in, drive-through, and catering options, we got you covered for all occasions. Let us handle your next fundraising event, team lunch, or family gathering with our full-service catering options. Enjoy all your favorite sports with lots of TVs, and don't miss out on our daily food and drink specials each week. With 2 convenient locations at Broken Arrows, Tiger Hill Plaza, and 71st and Yale. Waldo's Chicken, the best fried chicken in Oklahoma.
Well, Jack Hill takes over for Easton Teal here with a runner on and nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. The Jackrabbits leading the Golden Eagles 2-1 thus far as Robolewski draws a leadoff walk. And Jack Hill takes over for Teal, who goes 5 innings, gives up 6 hits, 2 runs. He is responsible for the runner on base. He walks 4 batters, which is tied for the most in a start this year. Only strikes out 1 in 102 pitches. So Hill trying to restore a little bit of order here on the bump, and he is your Summit League pitcher of the year. And, well, for good reason. 22 appearances all out of the bullpen, a record of 6-1, an ERA of 2.36, a whip of .81. 45 2/3 innings for him. 25 hits, 13 runs, 12 of them earned. 12 walks, 24 Ks, and a opponent average of 166 on the year. He has been absolutely lights out. He did give up 4 runs against Northern Colorado in 3 innings, but before that, he hadn't given up a run in his last 7 appearances, including his last time out against South Dakota State. They're 2 2/3 scoreless.
Keegan Jersley at bat for Jackrabbits.
In his first meeting with the Jacks, gave up 1 run in 2 innings on just 2 hits. So here's Keegan Jersley. 1 for 2 with an RBI bunt single. He's got a runner on first. Wouldn't be surprised if he throws one down here. ORU defense is cheating for a bunt, and he shows it, pulls it back, and takes the ball low and outside. Kelly was creeping up from third base. Fender is keeping the runner on right now at first. We'll see Kelly creep up again. And Davis is ready to cover first if need be. He shows bunt again. Pitch home, misses low and outside again. 2 balls and no strikes. Jack Hill, a senior out of Edmond, Oklahoma, transferred from Texas A&M Corpus Christi a few years ago. Quite the turnaround for him. 2-0. Misses low after another bunt. 3 balls and no strikes. But Hill had an ERA of over 9 last year. And, of course, his ERA has been hovering around that 2 spot all season. And he's got the best ERA on the team with guys who have pitched over 40 innings. He has the best whip on the team as well by a pretty wide margin. 3 balls and no strikes. Another bunt shown. He pulls it back this time. It's a strike taken. Sometimes the batters will play mind games, show the bunt to make the target a little bit harder to see. But this time I would be not surprised if Dershowitz sticks with it. He shows bunt again, pulls it back, takes another strike. So the count is full now. Nicely done from Jack Hill to battle back. This would be a massive, massive out if ORU could get it. Hill ready. And fires his payoff pitch. Runner takes off. Ball 4 is low. And the first 2 men have reached here in the 6th on back-to-back walks. 1 by Teal, 1 by Hill. And that brings up Nick Warwick. Warwick 0 for 2. Flew out to right field in the 3rd and reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. This time Fender is playing in the infield grass over at first. See if Warwick tries to square around. Hill fires, he does. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and he takes a strike over the outside part of the plates. It's just been the story of the day. Constant traffic for the Jackrabbits. Hill ready, looks back at second, fires the 0-1. Bunt shown, pulled back, and a ball is taken low and outside. I mentioned the leadoff man for the Jackrabbits has reached in 4 of 6 innings. The Jackrabbits have had a base runner on in every inning with less than 2 outs. The 1-1, bunt shown, pushed over to first base. Fender lets it go, and it stays fair the whole way. And the bases are loaded. So Fender opting to maybe see if it rolls foul, but he does not come out on the right side of that judgment, and all of a sudden the bases are full of Jackrabbits with nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. And here is Owen Seeger, 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. 13 RBIs for him this season. And Hill will throw back to second. They nearly got him, but Jersley back underneath the tag from Ellis, just barely. It's a dangerous play, too, for ORU because if that ball goes into the outfield, could be looking at maybe 2 runs, depending on where it ends up. Hill will fire home this time. First pitch. Misses low for a ball. Another right-hander up and throwing for Oral Roberts. Looks like Maddox Thornton down the right field line. Hill ready. The 1-0. Hit hard on the ground, threw it to right field. This will score 1 run at least as Robalewski comes in to score. Jersley right behind him. And a 2-run single for Owen Seeger. Makes it 4-1 Jackrabbits here in the 6th. RBIs 14 and 15 for the center fielder. And they are on the corners with still nobody out as Work goes from first to third in the process. Here's Nolan Graw. So that'll close the book on Easton Teal. 3 runs for him in 5 innings. And one of those runs goes to Hill. First pitch, runner takes from first, and it is fouled straight back. So Seeger trying to swipe second, but after the foul ball has to jog all the way back the 90 feet. Extra second for Connie Yates, who got a piece of that foul ball. Let's see if Jack Hill can just kind of rein it in here. A very uncharacteristic day for the Golden Eagles has continued here into the sixth inning. Hill looks over at first base. He comes set. 0-1. The pitch home. Runner does not take off this time, and he misses outside for a ball. 8-3. The hits in favor of the Jackrabbits here today. In a 4-1 game right now. Hill set. And he'll throw back over to first, not in time. And this is where you start to get into the phase of the ball game where it has been feast or famine for the Golden Eagles. When leading after 6 innings, they're 28-2. When trailing, they're just 1-18 this year. 1-1, foul back into the left. Make it a ball and 2 strikes. It's just been a combination of constant traffic for the Jackrabbit offense and lack thereof for the ORU offense. Hill ready his 1-2. Soft liner into the Jackrabbit dugout. Pops back out into the field of play as one of those blue hoodies from that third base side dugout goes out to retrieve it. We'll try it again. Runners on the corner, still nobody out here in the 6th inning. 2 runs in. Another 1-2 from Hill. Liner into right center. That'll drop. Nick Work scores from third as Seeger goes corner to corner, and they're back to being on the corner. Still nobody out, and it's 5-1 Jackrabbits. First hit of the day for Groff, 47th RBI of the year. 3 runs in here for the Jackrabbits in the 6th. As Nate Walker comes in, who's walked twice. This is real danger zone right now. Hill fires off the end of the bat. Weakly hit. Davis ranging back from second. Will he get there? Yes, he does. Makes a sliding catch. Runner tags from third. The throw home is just late. So Seegert scores on what will be listed as a sac fly. An impressive play made by Martell Davis to get there in time, but a 4th run of the inning comes through.
Number 9, designated hitter, Luke.
And that makes it 6-1 Jackrabbits. Here's Luke Lusky, 2 for 3 with a solo homer and a single. And the Jackrabbits have really made the Summit League Pitcher of the Year work. First pitch from Hill, big swing and a miss. 3 runs on Teal, now 3 runs on Hill in a third of an inning. Only runner is on first now after that sacrifice fly from Walker. 0-1. Low and outside. A ball and a strike. Lusky got the Jacks on the board in that 4th inning with a solo shot. All 6 runs have been unanswered. Hill ready. And a 1-1. Chopper third base side. Foul. As it'll trickle into that corner. A ball and 2 strikes. A traditional double play ball is in order. And, of course, if Jack Hill could get a strikeout, too, ORU would absolutely take that. Just feel like they need an out. Hill ready, the 1-2. In there, called strike 3. Much needed as he catches the outside part of the plate. He sits Luke Lusky down looking. Just the 2nd strikeout for the Jackrabbits today. first for Hill, and that brings up Luke Jones. 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored in the fourth. Runner on first, 2 gone here in the sixth. And a 4 spot put together by the Jackrabbits to take a 6-1 lead. First pitch from Hill, misses low and outside for a ball. The good news for the Golden Eagles, well, there's a lot of baseball left. And we've seen this team really come alive in the later innings as of late. Throw back over to first, not in time. It's just going to be a matter of what it seems like knocking Sam Schlecht out of the game. It's only at 63 pitches through 5 innings. 1-0 from Hill. 3-quarter swing and a miss there from Jones. They get 1 ball and 1 strike. He'll try to jam him, and Jones just came up empty anyway. Hill with a peek over his shoulder at first. And another throwback there. And Grind with a head first dive. The team OPS for South Dakota State at 1,026 versus ORU's of 474. Night and day, 1-1. Misses outside for a ball. And it's been the free passes, very uncharacteristic free passes from ORU pitching. They've handed out 5 of them. 2-1 from Hill. And outside ball 3. On the other side, ORU has not walked offensively. Three balls and a strike to Luke Jones, the catcher. And another throwback, not in time at first. If the inning were to continue, Dayton Franke would be the 9th Jackrabbit to come to the plate. And, of course, a double play would be the only way he doesn't reach the plate. Pitch home, misses low, ball 4. Another walk. Second issued by Hill, 6th of the day for ORU pitching. And here is the aforementioned Franke.
First base, number 30. Dayton Franke.
So runners on first and second, still only 1 out here in the 6th inning. And just an inning for ORU that feels like it'll never end. Franke was hit by a pitch in the second. A ground out and a pop out for him in the 4th and 5th. This is his 3rd AB in as many innings. First pitch to him, big swing and a miss. ORU has not lost to the Jackrabbits since St. Patrick's Day of 2024. They have never lost to them in the postseason. With those trends being challenged right now, the 0-1 misses outside to the tall left-handed Franke. The Robalewski who started this inning is now on deck. 1-1 off the end of the bat, foul atop the Jackrabbit dugout. Ricochets to a nice one-handed catch. That was Jacob Suits making the catch in the dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hill fires high and outside. There's 7 base runners left for the Jackrabbits here today. The only inning they did not leave anybody came in that 2nd inning where they sent the minimum to the dish. Part of that 4-6-3 double play inning. 2-2 from Hill. Big swing and a miss for strike 3. That is massive. And the inning comes to a close. So Franke strikes out, 2nd strikeout for Hill, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. Plenty of work to do for the Golden Eagles. They trail by 5. It's 6-1 Jackrabbits when we come back. This is Golden Eagle Baseball on the ORU Sports Network.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
WAC from Ford Credit.
Looking for delicious fried and rotisserie chicken? Look no further than Waldo's Chicken. Our Southern-style scratch-made sides are the perfect complement to our mouth-watering chicken. With dine-in, drive-through, and catering options, we got you covered for all occasions. Let us handle your next fundraising event, team lunch, or family gathering with our full-service catering options. Enjoy all your favorite sports with lots of TVs, and don't miss out on our daily food and drink specials each week. With 2 convenient locations at Broken Arrows, Tiger Hill Plaza, and 71st and Yale. Waldo's Chicken, the best fried chicken in Oklahoma.
Home half of the 6th here in the opening round of the Summit League Baseball Tournament. Connor Clark here with you on the ORU Sports Network, and the top-seeded Golden Eagles with plenty of work to do here in the latter half of this one, trailing 6-1 against the 4th-seed South Dakota State, a team they have never lost to in the postseason, and they haven't lost to in 2.5 seasons. As Makani Tanaka will lead things off for the Golden Eagles. It's the part of the order you want up to try and start a rally, 2, 3, and 4. He's accompanied by Lele Connie Yates and Cooper Combs in the 6th. But Sam Schlecht has looked really, really good here today. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, 5 Ks on just 63 pitches. His first of the 6th. Misses low for a ball to Makani Tanaka, who's 0 for 2. He popped out to the shortstop Jershly in the 1st. He struck out in the 3rd. And this is the guy you really need to get going here this afternoon, the 1-0. And Tanaka shoots it foul down the left field line, and that'll leave the ballpark. The 9-3 are hits in favor of the Jacks in this 6-1 game. Schlecht down to the line, the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a foul tip. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Tanaka. We told you the top half. ORU when leading after 6, 28-2 when trailing just 1-18. 1-2 well outside as Tanaka evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But the tandem of Tanaka and Connie Yates combined 0 for 4 with 2 punch-outs. Need them to really get started here. The 2-2 is swing and a miss in the dirt for strike 3. And 6th strikeout for Schlecht starts off the 6th. And here is Vailele Kanye Yates, bases empty with 1 out.
Vailele Kanye Yates.
Grounded out in the 1st, struck out looking in the 4th. 1 gone here in the 6th. Or you with 11 outs to play with. First pitch in there for a called strike at the bottom half of the zone. Combs waits on deck. He's 1 for 2. He singled with 1 out in the 4th. Schlecht down to the line, the 0-1 pitch. That one lined down the right field line and curls out of play. Quickly 0-2. Schlecht nods his head. 0-2. Well upstairs. A ball and 2 strikes. Once again, game 2 of the Summit League Tournament will kick off at 6 o'clock tonight. Omaha, the 2 seed against the 3 seed at Northern Colorado. 1-2 pitch. Connie Yates takes the ball low and outside. And, well, ORU will be playing one of those 2 teams. It's just uncertain of which game they will be playing which team in. Schlecht, his 2-2 on the way. Connie Yates with a hard hit ball over to Jershly at shortstop, who makes a nice play. Throws it across in time. 2 gone. So here is Cooper Combs. 1 for 2 with that single. ORU in danger of going in order for the 3rd time here today. And the only form of run production has been a solo shot from Martell Davis in the 2nd. He's on deck right now. First pitch to Combs. It's the outside part of the plate for a strike. Base is empty with 2 gone. Schleck fires the 0-1. Chopper middle of the infield. Jersley charging. Could be a tough play. Throws on the run. Nice pick by Franke at first. Inning over. Just like that, the Golden Eagles have gone in order in back-to-back innings, and they are running out of time as we go to the 7th. The Jackrabbits in control of this one thus far. They lead it 6-1 over Oral Roberts here in Game 1 of the Summit League Baseball Tournament. We'll be back with you in a moment. This is the ORU Sports Network.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today. WAC.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Welcome to Lamar Outdoor Advertising, the largest outdoor advertising company in the U.S. and one of the most successful operators in the outdoor advertising industry. We offer advertising in 2/3 of the top 50 markets in the country, as well as over 100 years of experience to help you make the most of this valuable marketing tool. Please visit our website, www.lamar.com, to learn more about our award-winning team and services.
We head to the 7th, and it is all Jackrabbits thus far here in the opening round of the Summit League Baseball Tournament. They lead the Golden Eagles 6-1 as ORU has gone back to the bullpen. Maddox Thornton taking over for Jack Hill, who only goes to 1 inning, gives up 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 2 Ks on 31 pitches. So we've had 2 first-teamers trot out there for Oral Roberts, and it has not gone their way. So let's see if Thornton can try and calm things down here in the 7th. 25 appearances for him, all out of the bullpen. A record of 1-2 with a 4.95 ERA and 43 2/3. Has given up 50 hits, 26 runs, 24 of those earned, 11 walks, 28 strikeouts, and an opponent average of 286. Last time out for Maddox on the bump. It came against Northern Colorado. He threw 2 scoreless on Friday afternoon. 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 Ks for him in that outing. So Luke Robalewski leading things off for the second time in as many innings. 9 Jackrabbits reach the plate in the 6th. First pitch is in there for a called strike. 4 out of the 6th innings, the Jackrabbits have had a leadoff man on. In all 6 innings, they've had a base runner on with less than 2 outs. 0-1. I went high outside. And again, for a pitching staff in Oral Roberts, it has been atop the Summit League all year. They rank 60th in the country at ERA. It's just not been their day thus far. For whatever reason, 1-1. Breaking ball upstairs. And the command has really been the issue. 2 balls and a strike. ORU has walked 6 batters. Schlecht has struck out 6 batters. He has not walked anybody. Thornton's 2-1. Big swing and a miss. Evens up the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you're just joining us, Teal went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, and 1 K. It ties the most amount of walks given up in an outing. Both coming against these Jackrabbits. The 2-2 just misses inside on a breaking ball. Fills up the count now for Robalewski, who's reached twice on 2 walks and scored in the 6th. Thornton set in the midsection. Payoff pitch. Ground ball over to Davis at second base, who charges. Makes a running throw in time. 1 up, 1 down here in the 7th. So here comes Keegan Jersley.
Shortstop number 4, Keegan.
1 for 2 with a bunt RBI single. Walked and scored in the 6th. Let's see if ORU can retire the first 2 batters for the first time. here today. First pitch from Thornton misses high and tight. Thornton, the grad student out of Bentonville, Arkansas, transfer from Arkansas. Deep breath for him, the 1-0. Chopper over to Ellis, who's in and now backs up, fields it cleanly. Makes a strong throw across in time. 2 up, 2 down here in the 7th. And for the first time all afternoon, ORU has retired the first 2 that have come to the plate. That brings up Nick Work. Ace is empty, 2 gone here, top of the 7th inning. Connor Clark here with you on the ORU Sports Network. ORU trailing 6-1. Lots of work to do here in the first game of the Summit League tournament. First pitch on the way from Thornton. Right down the pipe for a strike. Work bunted his way on into 6th. Is 1 for 3. A fielder's choice in the 4th. A fly out in the 3rd. Been 2 bunt singles today for the Jacks. 0-1. A little bit high and outside. And ORU won game 1 of the Summit League tournament last year quite comfortably against this team. 1-1. Big swing and a miss. Final was 11-2 in that game. And I know last year was last year, this year is this year. I only make that point because there's a lot of the same guys on both teams from that game a year ago. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thornton fires. Chopper third base, but it's foul as Kelly grabs it on the backhand. So let's see if Thornton can put together the first defensive 1-2-3 inning of the day for Oral Roberts. Maybe that catapults some momentum into the bottom half of this inning. The 1-2, high and tight, nearly hit him. You just kind of been waiting for that something to happen, and you felt like that something happened with Davis's solo homer, but since then, again, it's been all Jackrabbits. 2-2. Chopper, third base side. Well, foul yet again. It actually ricochets in and out of the Jackrabbit dugout as one of the guys from the bullpen leaps over the fence to grab it. They do have an arm up and throwing right now very casually. It's a right-hander. But again, I don't see Schlecht coming out of this game anytime soon. 75 pitches for him through 6 innings. Another 2-2 from Thornton. Another ground ball foul, third base. But of those 75 pitches for Schlecht, 53 of them have been strikes. They're pounding the zone today. Another 2-2 from Thornton, a 3-quarter swing and a miss for strike 3. And for the first time today, an ORU pitcher has put together a 1-2-3 inning. This time it's the top of the 7th. It is stretch time here from Siebert Field. ORU trailing 6-1 with 9 outs to play with. Plenty of work to be done on the offensive side of the baseball. We'll see what happens when we come back. This is the ORU Sports Network.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
Martell Davis leads off the bottom half of the 7th for Oral Roberts, the top seed with a lot of work to do here with 9 outs to play with. Trailing 6-1 against the 4 seed South Dakota State. Here in the Summit League Baseball Tournament, Sam Schlecht fires his first pitch, and it's right down the pipe for a strike. Davis 1 for 2 with a solo homer. Responsible for the only run scored by Oral Roberts here today. They have 3 hits as a team. 0-1 from Schlecht. Low and outside for a ball. They're being out-hit 9-3 in the ball game. And that 4th spot in the 6th has really thrown things off momentum-wise. 1-1. Swing and a miss from Davis. A ball and 2 strikes. As we mentioned in the top half, there is a right-hander up and throwing for South Dakota State. But again, I don't see Schlecht coming out of this game anytime soon, barring something happening this time. 1-2 misses in the opposite batter's box. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again, we've seen ORU come back in late innings before. It's not something that's impossible. 2-2, Davis hits the other way. As a matter of fact, they've scored 42 runs in the 8th inning this year, which is one of their highest totals. It's the 3rd highest run production inning for ORU this year. They've scored 31 times in the 7th. 2-2 again to Davis. Misses low. Really nice take there from Martell to make it a full count. Be really important to get the leadoff man on here if Davis could do it. The payoff pitch. Grounder over to Jerschley at shortstop. He's had a busy afternoon. Throws a cross. Brings Franke to his knees to pick it off the turf. And there is one gone. The last 3 outs have gone to Jerschley via the ground out. And here is Cooper Kelly. Bases empty, 1 out.
Base number 6, Cooper Kelly.
That's 6 putouts for Jerschley here today. So Kelly steps in 1 for 2 with a single in the 4th. Righty on lefty matchup here with Kelly, the switch hitter. First pitch. And he fouls it the other way down the left field line, just beyond the Jackrabbit bullpen. Ethan Fender has appeared in the on-deck circle. Love to give him a chance as well as Kelly fouls another one off. Another good 2. The base is empty. 0-2 to Cooper Kelly. Schlecht fires again. High and outside. Well, the first series with South Dakota State, ORU did have to come back twice in that series. Pitch home to Kelly in the dirt. He lays off 2 balls, 2 strikes. That 4-3 victory. ORU scored twice in the bottom of the 8th. Now, I get it. The deficit's a little bit larger here today. Here's the 2-2 to Kelly. A swing and a miss for strike 3. Well, the deficit is bigger here, and, well, ORU is running out of opportunities. 7th strikeout for Schlecht, and here's Ethan Fender with the bases empty and 2 gone.
21, Ethan Fender.
And then in that Saturday game, ORU won 3-1 by scoring 2 runs in the 8th inning again. They took care of the Jackrabbits 12-2 in that Sunday game. First pitch, that one misses low and outside for Ethan Fender. 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out here today. 1-0 in there for a called strike to even up the count. Well, the season high for K's for Schlecht is 8. He did it against North Dakota State on May 1st. This is the 3rd time this year he's had 7. 1-1 a liner, and that one breaks through into left field. So 2-out base knock for Ethan Fender. 4th hit of the game for Oral Roberts. Finally breaks a spell of what was 9 straight retired by Schlecht. Now that brings up Cole Dunning in pitching capacity.
Oral Roberts, number 23.
In place of Tyler Broderick, who was struck out 2 times here today. And, well, Dunning has been a good pinch hitter so far this year. He's hit 5 homers. 3 of them have come in pinch hit capacity. Batting .231 this year for Dunning. This is his 26th appearance of the year. First pitch to him. Takes a strike. Runner on first, 2 gone after the single from Ethan Fender. ORU trailing 6-1. They need runs, and they need them in a hurry. 0-1 And Dunning smacks it foul on the left field line, and it hits off the top of the net just beyond the Jackrabbit dugout, third base side. And 0-2 to Dunning. The redshirt sophomore out of Amarillo, Texas. Overall, his third year in the program. Schleck's 0-2. And Dunning just gets a piece of that to the backstop to keep it alive. Well, we mentioned Schleck has struck out 8. That is a season high. As far as longest outings this year, he's matched it. He went 6 2/3 in this ballpark against Minnesota earlier this year. 0-2, swing and a miss, making 7 innings for Schleck. And that is his 8th punch out to tie his season high. Oral Roberts gets a 2-out single from Ethan Fender. They cannot do anything with it, and we go to the 8th. South Dakota State still in firm control of this one. They lead the Golden Eagles 6-1 when we come back on the ORU Sports Network.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
WAC from Ford Credit.
Looking for delicious fried and rotisserie chicken? Look no further than Waldo's Chicken. Our Southern-style scratch-made sides are the perfect complement to our mouth-watering chicken. With dine-in, drive-through, and catering options, we got you covered for all occasions. Let us handle your next fundraising event, team lunch, or family gathering with our full-service catering options. Enjoy all your favorite sports with lots of TVs, and don't miss out on our daily food and drink specials each week. With 2 convenient locations at Broken Arrows, Tiger Hill Plaza, and 71st and Yale. Waldo's Chicken, the best fried chicken in Oklahoma.
We head to the 8th inning from Siebert Field on the campus of the University of Minnesota. The 4-seeded South Dakota State Jackrabbits leading the 1-seed ORU 6-1 in Game 1 of the Summit League tournament. TTCU Federal Credit Union is proud to be the exclusive credit union partner of Oral Roberts University. Founded by teachers in 1934, TTCU serves more than 150,000 members with 20 branch locations. If you don't have the ORU School Pride Visa debit card, get one today and support the Golden Eagles. Visit ttcu.com/ORU for details. Maddox Thornton back out there for Oral Roberts, putting together ORU's first 1-2-3 inning by a pitcher, and he fires low to Owen Siegert, who leads things off. 3 for 4 with a trio of singles, 2 RBIs, and a run scored for Siegert here today. In a game in which the Jackrabbits have scored 6 unanswered. Pitch home, he lines that one out into right field, playable for Edmondson, who makes the catch. And they get Siegert to start off the 8th. That'll bring up Nolan Graw.
Third baseman, number 2, Nolan Graw.
Graw 1 for 4 with an RBI single coming in the 6th. 47th RBI of the year for him. Steps in with the bases empty and 1 gone. Thornton has looked good out of the bullpen, as he's had a lot this year. First pitch misses a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. He fires in the 1-0. Grounder foul, first base side. Well, ORU's record when trailing after 7 is the same as it was trailing after 6, 1-18. When trailing after 8, they are 0-70. Yeah, it's been feast or famine. Because when they lead after 7, they're 24-1. When they lead after 8, they're 25-0. 1-1 right back at Thornton. It's off of his ankle, and that'll trickle to the left side of the diamond. No play for Kelly, who finally retrieves it. Looks like Thornton is okay. So it goes an infield single for Graw. And here is Nate Walker. He's walked twice here today, drove in a run on a sac fly to the second baseman, Martell Davis. You don't see that too often. It was a really nice play from Martell, but it was deep enough to score Siegert from third. First pitch on the way from Thornton in there for a called strike over the outside part of the plates. Well, if ORU can't get it together here in the final 2 innings, they will be back at it again tomorrow at noon. 0-1. That one a liner into right field. That'll drop in front of Edmondson as Graw going from corner to corner. He'll get there standing up. Another hit for the Jackrabbits, the 11th today, and they're on the corners with only 1 out.
Cleanup hitter, designated hitter, number 9, Luke Lusky.
Here's Luke Lusky. Another dangerous spot here for Oral Roberts pitching. 11-4 hits in favor of the Jackrabbits here today. Lusky 2 for 4 with a solo homer and a single. First pitch on the way. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike. Golden Eagles need answers, and they need them now. Nothing in 1. Thornton fires. Chopper over to shortstop. Ellis charging, only plays to first. A nice scoop by Fender to get the out, but the run scores to make it 7-1. So Lusky drives in his second run of the day on the 6-3 ground out, scoring Graw in the process. Walker goes to second, and here comes Luke Jones. So runner on second, 2 gone, and another run in here in the 8th. 7-1 Jackrabbits. Jones 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. First pitch misses inside of the knees. He also walked in the 6th. And Franke, who's on deck, is getting some instruction. Hey, move over. You're too far behind the dish. So after that delay, 1-0. Drops in for a called strike. Just we have not seen a game like this from ORU, it seems like all year. And of course, it's coming at an inopportune time. The 1-1 in the air to straightaway center. Playable from Akane Tanaka, who camps out underneath the big league pop-up. Inning over. But another run comes through for the Jackrabbits on an RBI ground out off the bat of Luke Lusky. His second RBI today, his 54th of the season. And, well, ORU trails by 6 with 6 outs to play with. Let's see what they can do with it when we come back. This is the Summit League Baseball Tournament on the ORU Sports Network.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today. WAC.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Go to the home half of the 8th inning here in Game 1 of the Summit League Baseball Tournament. And the top seed ORU needs at least 6 runs with 6 outs to play with as they trail 7-1 against the Jackrabbits. As another run comes in off of an RBI groundout from Luke Lusky. They score 1 run on 2 hits, and they leave a runner in the top half of the inning. And Hudson Ellis leading things off for the Golden Eagles in the bottom half, 9-1-2 due up. Ellis 0 for 2 with a line out and a fly out. Edmondson and Akane Tanaka will follow him up as ORU is in desperate need of some offensive momentum, getting out hit 11-4 here today. First pitch out of the way, and Sam Schlecht misses a little bit outside. This is his longest outing this year. His 2 longest have come in this ballpark, coincidentally. And he has tied his season high in Ks with 8. Ellis, a soft liner into shallow center. Siegert coming in. He dives. He can't make the play. Ellis around first. He's digging for second, and he'll get there standing up. So the leadoff man in scoring position here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And maybe that's the jolt of momentum that this offense needs as Will Edmondson steps in, representing the top of the order. First hit of the day for Ellis. We'll mark it a double. And Edmondson has reached once here today on an error, officially 0 for 3. Deep breath from Schlecht and fires home. Edmondson chopper middle of the infield. Jersley over from shortstop. Throws on the run, makes the play. It does move the runner over to third, but there's the first out. That brings up Makani Tanaka.
Center fielder number 10.
Well, this inning is the first inning all day where ORU has had the leadoff man on. Tanaka steps in 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. And again, number 10 is one of the guys you need to get going here in the late stages of this one. First pitch to him, misses low for a ball. Hudson Ellis on third base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. ORU trailing 7-1. Well, maybe this is a start to some traffic that they desperately need. 1-0 in there for a called strike. Again, ORU has never lost to South Dakota State in the postseason. 19-0 heading into today. 1-1. Tanaka with a check swing. He's rung up anyway and a called strike. He doesn't like the call. It's 1-2 now. Schlecht has his sign. And fires the 1-2. Tanaka looks at a ball in the dirt. The 2-2 to the Summit League Player of the Year. Looking for his first hit of the tournament. Schlecht's 2-2. Fouled off. Back into the left. We'll try it again. ORU has scored 42 times in the 8th inning this year. It's their third highest run total in any inning. The 2-2 high and outside. Tanaka forces a full count. ORU's 1-3 when they give up 7 runs this year. They have done that here today. Payoff pitch from Schlecht. And high and deep down the right field line. Walker giving chase, and if it's fair, it's gone, and it's off the foul pole. A 2-run homer for Makani Tanaka. His 14th of the year, his first of the postseason, and a little bit of momentum here in the 8th inning for this ORU offense. RBIs 51 and 52, and it makes it 7-3. Right off the foul pole down the right field line. And that is why he was dubbed Player of the Year. And here comes Vailele Kaniit, and here comes a meeting with Sam Schlecht. And they're going to make the move. So Sam Schlecht goes 7 1/3, and ORU finally able to knock him out of the ballgame. A really, really nice start for him in total, however. But maybe getting to the bullpen for Oral Roberts can do the trick here for some late inning magic. They've crawled back within 4. We'll tell you all about the new arm on the other side. 7-3 South Dakota State on the ORU Sports Network.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
Get people in your door by going outdoors. Out there, it's drive time all the time. Travelers are a captive audience from point A to point B, and they'll see your advertising all day, every day. People change radio stations, but they rarely change their commute to work or their favorite places. It's high reach, high frequency, and one of the most dependable advertising mediums around. Let the professionals at Lamar Outdoor help you tap this valuable resource today.
Ty Madison takes over out of the bullpen for South Dakota State as Vailele Connie Yates digs in, following up the Makani Tanaka 2-run homer. First pitch to Connie Yates, and he fouls it back into the right. Well, Schlecht finishes 7 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. No walks, 8 strikeouts, tying a season high on 104 pitches. Masterful day for Schlecht. 0-1 from Madison. That one misses a little bit low and inside. Madison has been one of the best relievers in the Summit this year. 18 appearances, 6 starts, 3-5 record with a 5.43 ERA and 56 1/3. 1-1 pitch on the way from him. Connie Yates skies it out to right field, playable for Walker. Who's over to his left, makes the catch, 2 gone. Connie Yates falls to 0 for 4 today, but the rest of Madison's numbers, he's given up 65 hits, 34 runs, all of them earned, 10 walks, 46 strikeouts, and put an average of 291. Cooper Combs steps in, bases empty, 2 outs, 2 runs in the inning for Oral Roberts to make it a 7-3 ball game. Last time out for Madison came last Thursday through 3 shutout against Omaha. First pitch to Combs, a check swing called strike anyway. Combs 1 for 3 with a single in the 4th. Last time against ORU, through 2/3 of an inning, gave up a run on 3 hits. 0-1. That one misses outside. Also threw 2 scoreless in the outing prior on that Friday game against ORU. This is the 5th time he has pitched against this Golden Eagle lineup. Saw them twice in each series in the regular season. 1-1. Breaking ball drops in for called strike 2. All 3 runs coming in on 2 homers for ORU. A solo shot from Davis, a 2-run shot from Tanaka. A 1-2 pitch. Combs looks at a ball down low. Two's all over the scoreboard with the bases empty. And the pitch home, a grounder that screams over to Graw at third base, throws across, inning over. So ORU does some damage to get some back. A 2-run shot from Makani Tanaka pulls ORU within 4, but again, still plenty of work to do. We head to the 9th. The Jackrabbits leading the Golden Eagles 7-3 in Game 1 of the Summit League Baseball Tournament. We'll be back with you in a moment. This is the ORU Sports Network.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
WAC from Ford Credit.
Looking for delicious fried and rotisserie chicken? Look no further than Waldo's Chicken. Our Southern-style scratch-made sides are the perfect complement to our mouth-watering chicken. With dine-in, drive-through, and catering options, we got you covered for all occasions. Let us handle your next fundraising event, team lunch, or family gathering with our full-service catering options. Enjoy all your favorite sports with lots of TVs, and don't miss out on our daily food and drink specials each week. With 2 convenient locations at Broken Arrows, Tiger Hill Plaza, and 71st and Yale. Waldo's Chicken, the best fried chicken in Oklahoma.
We go to the 9th inning here from Siebert Field at the campus of University of Minnesota, and Oral Roberts Still with work to do, but they've crawled a couple of runs closer. They trail 7-3 now with Dayton Franke stepping in. Maddox Thornton still out there for ORU. He's been good out of the pen. Did give up a run in the 8th, but outside of that has been quite productive as Franke leads off 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Jacks here in the visiting half of the 9th. First pitch on the way from Thornton. Big swing and a miss. Franke 0 for 3 today with a hit by pitch in the 2nd. He's gone ground out, pop out, strikeout since. 0-1. 0-1. Now went upstairs. A ball and a strike. Well, whoever loses this game will be back in action tomorrow at noon again. Tournament is double elimination. Works the same way as an NCAA regional would work. 1-1. That one fouled down the line, left field, and out of play. A ball and 2 strikes to Franke. The 2-3 game is at 6 o'clock tonight. Omaha, the 2 seed, Northern Colorado, the 3. And the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, if ORU were to lose this game, obviously they'd have their work cut out for them, but it wouldn't be anything they haven't done before this year. 2-2. Off the end of the bat, shallow left field. Combs giving chase. It'll drop in front of him. Hit number 12 for the Jackrabbits here today. Franke's first. Leads off the 9th. Another man on. Either leading off an inning or on with less than 2 outs. This is the 8th inning. The Jacks have had a base runner with less than 2 outs. It's the 5th inning they've had the leadoff man on. It's been that kind of day. First pitch on the way. Bunt is shown from Luke Rybalewski, but the ball travels inside, but he's not able to take the bunt away, so it's 0-1. Runner on first, nobody out here in the top of the 9th. Double play opportunity for Oral Roberts. Shows bunt again, pushes it over to Thornton off the bump. First base side, he'll apply the tag. It does move the runner over, so the sacrifice successful. Franke goes to second, and Keegan Jershely steps in. 1 for 3 with an RBI bunt single. He also walked and scored in the 6th. Runner on second, only 1 out. Jackrabbits in search of more insurance. First pitch strike in there from Thornton on a nice breaking ball. He fooled Jershely pretty good. He turned his back to Thornton. Maddox looks back at second, now fires home, check swing ground ball to first. Will it stay fair? No, it will not, as Fender grounds it, or grabs it in foul ground. Excuse my English. So it is 0-2 to Jershely. Nothing in 2. And the pitch home from Thornton. Foul back into the right. This righty-on-righty battle continues. Well, in the 9th for ORU, they'll have 5, 6, and 7 due up. Martell Davis, Cooper Kelly, Ethan Fender to try and get a rally started. And if the score stays true, they'll need at least 4. 0-2 upstairs. A ball and 2 strikes now. Nick Work is on deck for the Jackrabbits, their second baseman. He's 0 for 3 with a bunt and a run scored. Or, excuse me, 1 for 4, I should say, with a bunt and a run scored. There's a check swing and miss as Jershely went too far. Another strikeout for Thornton, his second out of the bullpen. There are 2 gone here in the 9th. It's a big out to keep this at a 4-run game. That is the top priority right now. You cannot afford to fall behind any farther than you already have. First pitch on the way to Work. Big swing and a miss. And a breaking ball down and away for the right-handed batter. Kelly at third base, hugging the line with work at the dish. Playing him to pull. 0-1. Same pitch, same result. Called strike this time. Nothing in too quickly on work. You saw Teal go 102 pitches, Hill go 31. They got 6 runs off of 2 first-team caliber pitchers. 0-2, high and tight. Teal went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits with those 3 runs. Ties the season high of 4 walks, only struck out 1. Hill, 1 inning, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks. A ball and 2 strikes. Thornton fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks to end at the top of the 9th. And again, maybe a little bit of momentum built into the bottom half, but ORU is down to their final 3 outs. They need at least 4 to keep the ball game going as Ty Madison will take the bump yet again for the Jackrabbits. We'll be back with you in a moment. This is the Summit League Baseball Tournament. You're listening to the ORU Sports Network.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today. WAC.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
It's up to Martell Davis, Cooper Kelly, and Ethan Fender to start off the bottom half of the 9th inning. ORU down to their final 3 outs, and they trail by 4 runs. 7-3, South Dakota State in front here in the opening game of the Summit League Baseball Tournament. Connor Clark here with you on the ORU Sports Network. Davis 1 for 3 with a solo homer in the second. Ty Madison back out there after going 2 up, 2 down in relief in the 8th. First pitch, and Davis with a liner, but it's right at Graw, who doesn't even have to move. And just like that, there's one gone. Couldn't put much better of a barrel on it if you're Davis, but again, just right at the defense. And ORU down to their final 2 outs here in the opener. Cooper Kelly steps in 1 for 3 with a single in the 4th. This would be quite a shocker. First pitch upstairs. The ball, no strikes, the left-handed Kelly. Again, ORU has not lost to South Dakota State in the postseason ever. 19-0 all time. 1-0. That one drops in for a called strike. A ball and a strike. Last time ORU lost to South Dakota State in general, March 17th of 2024. They won 15 in a row against the Jacks. 1-1, ventures outside, 2 balls and a strike to Kelly. ORU did have to make their way to the championship game last year in the losers bracket, but they lost on day 2, not on day 1. The 2-1, a check swing, but he went too far around. It's 2-2. They were able to go on and force the if necessary game. They did fall short. That's the beauty of double elimination games if ORU isn't able to rally here in the 9th. 2-2 from Madison. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A ball in the dirt, Kelly chased it. First strikeout for Madison, 9th for this ORU offense, and it's up to Ethan Fender. Base is empty, 2 gone here in the 9th inning.
Ethan Fender.
A game that just has not favored ORU since that second inning. It has been such, really the word that comes to mind, an uncharacteristic afternoon. First pitch on the way to Fenders, a big swing and a miss. 1 for 3 with a single in the 7th. Madison has gone 4 up, 4 down in relief. Looks in the 0-1. Fender with a liner, a one-hopper right at Jersley down to a knee. Throws across in time, and that's the ball game. Oral Roberts goes 1-2-3 in the ninth. And for the first time ever, they drop a postseason game to the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. And, well, the journey will have to go through the consolation bracket for the rest of the weekend. The final score, South Dakota State, the 4 seed, wins it 7-3 over the top-seeded ORU. We'll recap it all for you coming up on the Empire Fence post-game show. Talk about all 9 innings and, well, the path that lies ahead now for Oral Roberts for the rest of this Summit League Conference tournament. Once again, the final score, South Dakota State 7, Oral Roberts 3. Back with you in a moment on the ORU Sports Network.
Life comes at you fast, whether it's starting a family, making the most out of your side hustle, or anything else financial. Sometimes you just need to talk to someone. That's what we do. We're TTCU Federal Credit Union, and we're here to get you where you want to go. Our money experts can help build your credit, figure out your budgets, and even help plan your savings goals. Together, we've got this. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
At Bill Knight Ford, we're proud to bring you the power of 4 with Bill Knight Ford of Tulsa, Stillwater, Bartlesville, and now our all-new location in Veneta. You have access to a wider selection of vehicles, more service options, and a dedicated team.
Get the 2025 F-150 Super Crew for just $48,990 or the 2025 Explorer for just $43,660, both with 3.9% financing.
Visit any of our 4 locations to experience the power of 4 for yourself or shop BillKnightAuto.com today.
Get people in your door by going outdoors. Out there, it's drive time all the time. Travelers are a captive audience from point A to point B, and they'll see your advertising all day, every day. People change radio stations, but they rarely change their commute to work or their favorite places. It's high reach, high frequency, and one of the most dependable advertising mediums around. Let the professionals at Lamar Outdoor help you tap this valuable resource today.
9 innings are in the books, and it's time for the Empire Fence postgame report. For the full breakdown, stats, and reaction, here's play-by-play voice, Connor Clark.
Well, unfortunately, Game 1 of the Summit League Baseball Tournament has come to a very unfortunate end for Oral Roberts as they dropped the opening game 7-3 against the 4 seed South Dakota State. And the rest of the journey will have to be played through the consolation bracket to try and get to championship Saturday. And a long road lies ahead for a team that is more than capable of making it happen. Welcome into the Empire Fence postgame show. Connor Clark here with you on the ORU Sports Network. Thanks so much for spending your Wednesday afternoon with us here in sunny Minneapolis. And let's recap all 9 innings here today, as it was a game that Oral Roberts did strike first in, and a lot of momentum went towards the Golden Eagles. A solo shot from Martell Davis in the second inning put ORU up 1-0. But in a start for Easton Teal where he had to work a lot, he finally caves in the second. He gives up 2 runs on a Luke Lusky solo shot and then a bunt RBI single from Keegan Jersley. One of 2 bunt singles that the ORU defense would allow here this afternoon. It's one of many really uncharacteristic examples that happened here today for this Oral Roberts squad. Happens there in the 4th, and the Jackrabbits took the lead, and, well, they would not look back. Into the 6th inning, Teal will get knocked out of the ball game, and they would score 4 runs. A 2-run single from Owen Siegert would be a part of the damage. A sac fly from Nate Walker as well, and 3 runs would go to Easton Teal's line. He finishes 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, and a strikeout. Jack Hill would also give up 3 runs on 3 hits in just 1 inning, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. So you got to give the Jackrabbits a lot of credit. They get to 2 first-team pitchers, including the pitcher of the year, and they score 6 runs on both of them, and they would take a 6-1 lead. Fast forwarding to the 8th, the top half, they would extend the lead to 7-1 as they would score off of Maddox Thornton, who was really good in relief. We'll talk about him in just a second. An RBI ground out from Luke Lusky drives in Nolan Graw, the second of 2 RBIs from Lusky here today, and that would put the Jacks up 7-1. ORU would respond in the bottom half of the 8th inning, a 2-run homer from Makani Tanaka, his lone hit of the ball game and his 14th homer of the year, and his 51st and 52nd RBIs of the season would come along with it. But that would be the last form of run production that ORU would get here today as they went in order in the bottom of the 9th, and they dropped the opening game of the Summit League tournament by a final of 7-3. Totals for you: South Dakota State 7 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. They leave 11. ORU 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They leave 4. Schleck gets the win, 4-4 on the year. Easton Teal gets the loss, 4-3. Game played in 2 hours and 30 minutes. And well, before we get to Maddox Thornton, it was the walks that were an issue for Oral Roberts. They give up 6 free passes, and South Dakota State gives up 0 walks here today between Schlecht and Madison. And well, they only use 2 arms, and Madison only faced 5 batters, so they've set themselves up very, very nicely pitching staff-wise for the rest of this tournament. ORU does only use the 3 arms as well, and Jack Hill only goes the 1 inning, so he will be more than likely able to go yet again here down the road in this tournament. But it was Maddox Thornton out of the bullpen. He really kind of settled down the game, but he settled down the game, unfortunately, a little bit too late. But 3 innings, 3 hits, just 1 run, no walks, and 3 punch-outs on 44 pitches. So a really, really nice outing for Maddox Thornton. He tried to keep ORU in it as best he could, but again, when you inherit what is a 5-run deficit, that is going to be tough to do as well. And ORU gets doubled up in the hits category in addition to all that. In the left-on-base category, they lose that one by 7. So a lot of work to do for Oral Roberts here in the coming days. We'll be back in action tomorrow at noon. The pregame will be at 11:45 a.m., just like how we did here today as well. It turns into a win-or-go-home scenario for the Golden Eagles. They will await the loser of the 2-seed Omaha and the 3-seed Northern Colorado. That game will get started at 6 o'clock tonight over on Midcoast Sports. So for those ORU fans that are interested in watching to see who ORU will play, that is where you can find that ball game. And then once again, we'll have the pregame show for you right here on the ORU Sports Network at 11:45 in the morning on Thursday morning. So that'll do it for us here from Siebert Field. Game 1 of the Summit League tournament is in the books. ORU drops it 7-3, and well, it's win or go home the rest of the way out for the top seed in the Summit. A big thanks to our sponsorship group, as always, for helping us put on these good broadcasts. A big thanks to our ORU Sports Network crew for making us look and sound great with each and every single game we get to do. And, of course, a big thanks to all of you for spending your Wednesday early afternoon with us here from sunny Minneapolis. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 11:45. This is Connor Clark saying so long from the Summit League tournament. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday and the rest of your night. This has been Golden Eagle Baseball on the ORU Sports Network.